Fuck.
What were you guys out doing today? You said betting? What, cleaning it or buying
Went to
it?
breakfast, cleaning, then the laundromat.
You clean your bedding?
Like the big comforters and stuff that don't fit.
How does this
I've never met the missus. She don't play poker?
No.
Why would
She's
you-
come to poker though. And like chilled
Yeah.
a couple times.
She came to karaoke a couple times. Maybe
Did she?
once. Was it once?
Twice.
Twice?
Do you guys sing?
I sang not
Bree
well.
be singing. Bree be singing.
Not
do you
well.
sing?
What do I sing?
Yeah. Can you give us a little taste of it?
No, I don't. I'm not a good singer.
Everybody's a better singer than they think.
Go put your records on. End of the Road by Boyz II Men.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think End of the Road, that's a classic. Everybody does that one, right?
Everybody,
Somebody does it at some
Yeah.
point during the night.
yeah, you're right. Jay, this past Thursday, signed us up for many karaoke songs
That I could not sing.
and did none of them.
Sounds about right.
Took a mic, bro. Just the worst was Drew. One time he said it. He signed us up for Pretty Ricky.
Pretty Ricky.
When I tell you this motherfucker was like,
On the
"Yo, we have
hotline?
to do it." Yeah, he was so amped, and then the words started coming up. He knew nothing of it.
Perfect.
He's like, "Oh, I just remembered the song. I didn't realize I didn't know the words." But anyways, I'm excited. We got the live event. You coming?
I am.
Hell yeah, baby! Bringing the wifey.
I'm gonna try. So
Yeah, it's all
we're
good.
staying with
Listen.
her grandparents over that weekend because her grandfather's going away and her grandma's sick. So we're staying there, but it's right near. It's in Pawtucket.
Dope.
So I told her I have to at least run out for a little bit
You got to
show support.
If you're gonna come early. That's when we need the
Okay.
most support. Like early in the night. Open bar also, by the way.
yeah. Tell me what time.
7.
7.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't. I definitely know I can't stay all night, but I will show up at 7.
That's fine.
Come for a couple hours, show support.
That would be perfect. That's
Then
actually
when you get
ideal.
then when you get the
appreciate you.
crowd,
You out?
Audi 5000.
I'd rather spend the time when I can actually spend time with you guys anyway. You know.
I like it. You want to be more personal.
Yeah.
You want the interaction to be very
Sensual.
personal.
I also just don't
Sensual.
like a lot of people.
I'm with you on that. It's so funny.
Why is that? You
because-
don't like people?
Not big groups.
Yeah. Does it give you
People,
anxiety kind of thing, or is
telling
it
us
just
why.
like?
Brandon's rushing us.
No, he's saying we're on the air, like we're good.
Yeah,
That's there because if there's other websites up, Jay gets distracted.
I do. I
So like
just
we'll be having a conversation, then he's like,
Is he gonna cue us when we're going? I need to
We
know
already
when
are
he's-
going.
"Yeah, no,
Oh,
he'll
what?
let us know. He'll let us know. He'll let us know when we're live." But anyways, just so you know, like we do a lot of before and after recording. So from here on out, don't say anything that you don't want to be live because we don't edit, we don't cut it out.
That's
like,
cool.
we'll use
That's
it.
why I'm asking.
Yeah,
Well, we don't edit on
assume,
purpose.
just assume we're live. What was I saying? What were we saying? We were talking about the live event. Oh, big crowds. It's funny because I get invited to things a lot, and I don't like saying no, but I don't like lying either. So like I try to say no in the beginning, you know, and I'll be like, nah, I'm probably not gonna go. And then you know your friends will be like, oh, you gotta come and support. But I don't like big crowds. I don't like big events. Like I told you when you invited me over there for the 4th of July. I just don't want to be around a bunch of people I don't know.
Where was I?
Some cookout, Sean's maybe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know,
That's right.
and it's weird because now they're like, all right, but here you are throwing this giant event. I'm like, well, probably not gonna enjoy myself there either.
For me, it's also just like a personal space thing. Like when I was younger, I used to like clubs and dance, and now like I just don't want people touching me that I don't want touching me.
Does it give you anxiety, or like is it just?
It's just annoying.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Like when you're out and people bump into you constantly, and I'm just like, yo, if one more person bumps into me, I'm gonna swing.
Yeah,
Shit's gonna go down.
Yeah.
or like the strangers at the bar. Like you see them, you see them often, but they think you're closer than you really are.
100%.
So they come and talk to you and then fucking touch you and then make small talk. Like, there's this one guy, man. Damn, I don't want to put him on blast, but fuck.
You're about to
Go
put him on
there.
blast.
Yeah, man.
What's
It's
his
like we
name?
Go, and he come over. He's like, hey, man, you know, like, and he starts chit chatting about this and his personal life, and I'm like, bro, like, how can you not read body language? You know what I mean? Like, if I'm talking to somebody and they don't want to engage with me,
like,
I can tell right away, and I'm like, okay, I'm out. You know what I mean? But it's like, dude, I'm turning my head away. I'm looking at my phone. I punch you in the face, and you're just still
Like I
going.
left.
Yeah, you're just following me out to my car. Now you got your hands on my window while I'm driving. I start driving. You jump up on the running board, and you're still talking. Like, oh fuck, bro.
And even when you don't mind, they're the oversharers. Like those are the people who like you don't mind talking to them, but then all of a sudden you're hearing about their deepest, darkest things in their life,
shit.
and you're like, how do I react to this when I don't know you and have no emotional connection to you? Like, I'm sorry.
Yo, facts. That's another thing that happened on Thursday. We're just like chit-chatting, and I'm like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. What are you singing next? I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to sing that song. It brings up traumatic memories, you know? My mother threw me out when I was 17 and loved my sister more. I was like, gonna do a shot? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Like, what do I say to you right now?
Nice.
People are definitely strange. They're interesting. I don't know. I find people very interesting, but I agree with you guys. I don't know. I can't hang out with fucking big crowds.
Yeah.
I went to Times Square during New Year's Eve.
God, bro. Fuck
Worse,
that.
yeah.
What a fucking shit show that was. I will never ever do that ever again. I haven't done it since.
Dude, I was reading, like, what do you do when you're in that crowd? You gotta take a shit. You gotta piss, like.
Yo, literally everybody's fucking hammered. Number one, obviously, right? It's New Year's Eve. And wherever the crowd goes, that's where you go. You're like nut to butt, shoulder to shoulder. Like me and my siblings, we were holding each other's hands, trying not to lose each other, just walking through. I'm like, man, this is so dangerous.
Right.
If you trip
and fall, you're dead.
you're done.
It's like Walmart on Black Friday back in the day.
Yeah.
Before Amazon and people just got things delivered.
Yeah.
I love Amazon, bro. Fucking flying here is killing me. Something to be said though. I feel like I hate it when people overshare with me, but I feel like it happens because I think I'm a good listener, you know, and I'm a vault, you know. Like if you tell me something, it's like it's locked up. I don't share that shit, but
Like
it can get weird. You know, like you know this dude. You know our boy, bro. The kid is cheating on. No, I'm kidding. Just drop his whole name.
Even when we went to the
I
Celtics game.
think I'm getting a cold or something.
We went to that Celtics game and everybody released at the same time when the game was over, walking down the stairwell. I'm like, yo, this is
What kind of
crazy.
game was this?
What's that?
You guys are just releasing at the same time?
Yes, all of us.
Oh, yeah, the
We call it a
Celtics
Celtics game.
You're like,
No, don't do that.
at the same time. It's like, where was the Celtics game? Club Electric?
Electricity.
You didn't watch the recent episode yet? Oh my God, this broad on here was wild. She was absolutely out of her mind. Hey, are we got Facebook Live or what?
Yes.
Nice. Let us know if there's comments.
Yeah,
Anyone's worth reading.
Connor said, "You better be singing karaoke on Saturday, Bree." Also, what's up, fellas?
Oh yeah, he's doing
up,
that. I don't know
Connor?
if you knew that.
I saw Connor was on the show.
We love Hamilton.
Yes.
Hamilton.
Fun fact: he used to work with Carissa
Oh,
together.
that's a super fun fact.
So when Carissa,
Who's Carissa?
wifey,
Oh,
when she came to karaoke, she was like, "I know him. I used to work with him." So shout out to Connor and Carissa. Used to be coworkers. back
Shout
in the
out
day.
to Connor and Carissa. Yeah.
So weird.
That's from a movie. What movie is that? No? We'll pick that up.
I don't know. I shouldn't be drinking right now.
Josh doesn't want to do a podcast. He wants to do one of those radio stations at like
He does.
2 a.m.
Ever, what is that?
Smooth Josh on your ride home.
Lardy's top 10.
You're rocking with JP from 12 to 3.
Exactly.
I think I could do it. I don't know. It's,
Be a
it's
DJ?
weird to, nah, I mean, it's weird to like fake a voice for that long.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd break character.
A lot of work.
Yeah. It reminds me of that time we were playing poker, dude, and Chris Ott, and it was so funny because we're just like playing a normal poker game, and Jay's like, "I'm gonna raise 2,000," and Chris comes out and he's like, 7,500. Fuck, bro, you Barry White. It's like I'm folding just because I'm turned on now. Yo, those were some fun games we used to have at you know Sarah and Michelle. They're you know them or no?
So every lesbian's supposed
Yeah.
to know every lesbian? No,
Well,
I don't know if
Well,
I
they
know
play
Sarah
poker
or
with
Michelle.
us too. It's not like just because they're lesbians.
They
that's
might have
all
been
you know
before
them.
my time.
They're still alive. Like,
Well, like playing before my.
yeah. I mean, they're kind of like DDP legends.
Yeah, I don't think I know them.
But anyways, they host
Good
like
cash games.
yeah, they host like little tournaments and cash games at their home, and it's always a lot of fun, man. You know, when you can get a poker game going where it's just all of the people you like, it's something different about it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good time.
This dude, we're down there one day and we're fucking smoking a little pot and everybody's got their pipes. fucking Jay brings out like a fucking wooden carved dragon that's like this long. He's like, yo, anybody want to hit this? We're like, what is that? And you got a fucking shillelagh around.
Like, remember the whole basement was just a cloud of smoke.
Oh
we're
my
all sitting
God.
down and we're all giggling like little fucking girls because
Yeah,
we were
dude.
all everybody was high.
Remember your boy told us that story?
Yo, why you guys
Weird,
saying that?
it's a weird ass story, bro. I wish I could recap it, but anyways.
He was making it up as he went along.
It seemed like it, and he was just like, "Damn, I need shock value here." Some people are weird, bro. Like they just like lie about stories, man. To try to, there's a little fruit fly in front of me. Yeah. I miss those days though, man.
I feel like my liver is evil and it needs to be punished, and I punish it every chance I can. That's not good. That's not good, man. That's not good.
An itch on my head I gotta take care of. Got it.
Are you a big drinker?
No,
No?
I'm not a big drinker. Just socially.
Yeah. I don't really see. Yeah, when we're playing poker or whatever, I don't really see you drinking too much.
I don't think
Sometimes
I've ever seen you without a drink. Isn't it weird how, as a country, dude, we're just like alcoholics. Think of how much you drink socially and all the different environments you're in where it's like, excuse me, not even just accepted, but you're like expected to drink. You know, like you go out to dinner with your friends, and if you don't get a drink, it's a little weird.
Oh yeah,
We do this podcast, you don't have a drink, it's a little weird.
almost everything that we do:
I'm telling you, man. We're just
cookouts,
like fucking
bowling,
cook,
golf, whatever. What do you
call
go to
it?
the beach, like
softball.
AA meetings,
Yeah, my kids' sporting events, bro. Graduations,
birds.
play dates. It's everything, dude. Always. Anytime you celebrate. It's like any celebration is like, hey, let's have a drink, you know?
Yeah.
End of the week, let's have a drink.
I also feel like people go crazy. I have a lot of opinions about this. Like in Europe, when you're a kid, they give you wine or beer at a very young age, and like it's not a big deal. So it's not like this, you can't drink, you can't drink. So then when you get, I feel like in America, when you get to a certain age, you're like chasing drinking because like it's
Yeah.
this thing you can't do. When you
So
tell people you
how
can't
long
do
does
stuff.
that last? Because it's been a while for me at this point. Like,
I don't know.
it's
I
been
did it
about
younger.
14 years since I could legally drink.
Right.
You know what's weird is like, but I feel we all start a little before we're 21 anyway.
Of course.
Right? Some of us even fucking as young as 16, 17, whatever it is.
Yeah.
14.
Whatever the case
Start
is.
drinking at 14?
Yeah.
But it's like when you're 19 and 20, like you're looking forward to that 21. You're like, fuck it, I'm going out. Can't wait legally.
Yeah.
I remember turning 21. I didn't have any alcohol until like 2 weeks after I turned 21. It was weird.
That is weird.
You know what I mean? It was just like I wasn't.
Well, the thrill is gone.
Well, also when you come back and you have a military ID, a lot of times you can just get into places and drink in places.
Yeah.
So that thrill of like doing it in public and not having to hide it is gone. You know?
My pops gave me a beer. My pops is from Ireland. He gave me a beer when I was very, very young. But it was more or less to, like, here, it tastes like shit. Like, you know, like, don't drink. But,
Yeah.
like, hey, I guess
It's so
that didn't
stupid
work.
though. Like that's such a terrible tactic. You're like, it tastes like shit. Don't drink. Well, Dad, why do you drink? Because it makes you feel great. Well, I want to feel great.
Right.
Oh, okay. Have another one.
Yeah.
You know. Here we are. I just try to tell my kid, like, listen, man, it's fun. I like it, but at the end of the day, like, you can't because your body can't process it yet. You know, like that. That's really where it is, man. It's dangerous. It's not that like I'm gonna tell you not to when you're of age, but it's dangerous. You know, you got a little baby liver, bro. The same reason I'm not gonna fight you. Like,
baby liver.
if I punch you in the face, you're not gonna handle it the same way a grown up would.
Of course. Of course.
Look,
Sure.
ow.
When I really started drinking, it was in 7th grade. And I had a bottle of Mad Dog 2020. I forgot which flavor it was. It was in the back of my reading class. Somebody had it in their backpack, and we were in the back of the class drinking, and then
You
was
didn't
just like-
you didn't pay attention in reading class.
binge drinking ever since.
That explains a lot.
Yeah.
Watching you trying to get through these fucking ads, which by the way, I think they're up, huh? We gotta re-sign some of our sponsors out there, boys.
Yeah, I think today's the last day.
I thought we were already adless. You know what else I needed to make a little like an invoice template so we can send these motherfuckers like an invoice when they buy ad space, show them what they got, how much they paid.
Why, are they asking for it, or
Asking for it, but if not, I mean we should anyway, bro. You know, it's like
record keeping?
Can they claim it?
they
Charitable
they can
donations.
write it. Well, they can write it off as like advertising costs, so they don't have to pay taxes on it.
Right.
Have you guys ever drank Mad Dog?
I have
course.
not.
You have?
Of course,
Cisco?
bro. There was a fucking time in my life, bro, where like we were just pounding Burnett's, bro, Kharkov, like all the nastiest
Burnett's
shit ever.
was-
What's Burnett's? I don't know.
It's a very
like a
cheap
kettle wine,
vodka.
Oh,
The
vodka.
cheapest shit, dude.
Yeah.
Flavored. Yep.
When I was
Flavored,
younger, it
yeah,
was
flavored. It
UV
just burns.
Blue and Four Loco.
But
Four
UV
Loko
wasn't
used
too
to be
bad.
the-
UV was like bearable. Burnett's was
UV.
like,
Was that the Nips?
well, they make Nips, bro.
Yeah.
So Nips
But
is
these
not
have
like
the
the type of
bottles,
vodka.
yeah.
It's the size of a bottle.
Oh, I've never seen a UV big bottle.
Oh, they got
Yeah,
the big
UV
UV blue.
Oh, really? Okay. All right.
And then remember the Pinnacle ones came out? All
Oh,
those
Pinnacle
flavor
used
ones?
to
Yeah, fucking Pinnacle
fuck me up.
cheesecake, strawberry cake, Pinnacle whipped cream.
Every time I drink Pinnacle, I blacked out.
Damn.
Every time.
Come on, fly.
There's UV Blue right there.
Oh, that makes me want to throw up. Look
See,
at
all
all
that,
Yeah.
yeah, that color, that sugary shit is what kills you, though, man.
Should fuck this up.
It's wild now because, like, as a grown up, I don't think that we get less, like, hungover less because you're starting to tolerate it better. It's just like I don't deal with those crazy hangovers anymore because you cut out all the fun shit. You know what I mean? Like all the juices and the mixes with it. If you just go straight booze, like you're pretty good. Feel fine. the next
Burnett's.
day.
You know what I cannot drink? I can't drink Goldschlager.
Goldschlager.
You know,
How's your throat?
I've never had a sip of that. I've never tried it. I don't even.
Just
what,
like
what
hot
kind of
red
booze is it?
cinnamon, like or cinnamon.
What kind of
hot
booze is
cinnamon.
it? Is it schnapps? What is it?
Yeah, I think so.
What is schnapps? It's just like sugar.
No, I don't think it's a schnapps. I think it's a liquor, like
Liqueur.
liqueur or whatever.
I
Is
used
that
to do
just
the
like a
liquid
French
coke.
way to say liquor?
Yeah,
I used to do
don't
the
know.
liquid cocaine shots. Those
Whoa,
are
what?
Those are Goldschlager.
We have some of those. It's
151
the powder,
and
the mix, though.
Rumpelmans, I think.
Oh, Rumpelmans.
Rumpelmans,
Man.
Goldschlager, and 151, I think it is.
Rumpelman. The problem with Rumpelmans is it tastes good, just like McGillicuddy's, but it's like 4 times as strong.
Yeah.
So you think you're just drinking regular shit, dude, but then you're just dying.
Yeah,
You just wake up in the hospital like, whoa, where am I?
100%.
When I was in the service, I did a shot for shot of the big bottle of Captain Morgan. I can't drink it anymore. I mean, I can.
You know Deb that plays poker?
Yeah.
So you know
She
me.
can drink.
Bro. You know that I can
She
drink,
can drink.
bro. Like there's very few people that I associate with that can fucking throw them back more than me without dying first. So this lady's fucking, I don't know, 50 years old, 60 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she challenges me. She's like, let's do it. Bro, I'm like, fuck this. I don't give a shit. We're doing shots of Jameson.
You can't fuck with that.
Boom. Boom. Finally, we're like 9 in. And I'm just kind of like wobbling. And she's just like, you done? I'm like, nah. Bro, I just remember waking up 3 hours later, dude, like fucking where am I and shit. And she's still good.
she doesn't
It
get
didn't
drunk.
make sense.
She's a trooper.
Didn't make sense to me, man. I don't know if she was cheating, throwing a ball over her shoulder or something. Well, this was fun.
It's like you're telling the
Both
story
like,
with
yeah,
Deb.
okay.
That's always the risk of like not having that pre-planned shit, you know. Sometimes we just talk and bullshit. I do. There's definitely a topic I want to talk about before we're done. We can save it for later though. Back to the awkward silence.
No.
You want to wait on it, or you want to bring it? You want to lead up to it?
Oh, I'll bring it.
Bring it. No.
Oh, I'll bring it. It's already been brought in.
Last night,
We
fucking
let the
$500
liquor talk.
fucking bill, just drinking. Well, we had some food too, so I guess I saw. You know who I saw?
Terrell,
Matt Mallow. last
Matt
night.
Mallow.
Yeah.
Nice.
He was there with some of his boys at Red, and yeah, we went fucking nuts.
I think it was Terrell's birthday yesterday, no?
Was it yesterday?
I think it was yesterday.
Might have been a couple days ago. Yesterday. I
No,
don't
it
know.
was. Yeah, you're right. It was yesterday.
He played Wednesday.
We did a
too.
birthday shot with him at Foxwoods at 12 o'clock on Friday night.
Shot of what?
Oh my god.
What's that?
What was the shot of?
Well, you know what? We went to the shitty fucking Atrium Bar, which is like so. I don't even know why they still have that open outside the poker room. They didn't really have any good liquors or anything. So I think we did Macallan 12.
That's good.
I mean, yeah, I wanted like something better. I just
Like what? McAllen 18, bro.
like blue or something. He's like, I got to call my manager.
But that's
I'm like, what?
barely a level up though. Blue is like 18.
Well, they got to call a manager just to fucking have it.
Well, that's just a shitty
what?
place. It's not. I mean, Johnny. Don't
talking
get me
about?
wrong. Johnny Blue is top shelf, but
I figured, I'm gonna buy Terrell, decent shot. We're like, okay, hey, let's take a shot of Johnny Walker Black. Really? Like, what the fuck? And they didn't even have a DJ that night at the Atrium. They had like dueling pianos. I think they're like,
Oh, those are cool, though.
They are in the right setting.
love piano, yeah.
But not at Foxwoods. Like it didn't go over well. There was nobody in the Atrium at all. Like
No.
nobody was.
yeah, the place is whack, bro. I mean, I get it. If you like to gamble, go and gamble, but it's not people. I'm not going there for the nightlife.
Well,
I don't go
Fox
anywhere for the
Tower is a little
nightlife, to be
different.
honest with you.
Over the other side of the property, Fox Tower, there's that nightlife over there is it's just bumping over there.
Bumping.
I only go to Foxwoods for a show or poker, and I leave.
Well, I say,
kind
you
of
know,
show?
it's the single life, you know? You still want to go out, club, meet people, so I
Yeah.
get it. Nothing wrong with it.
You go out there a lot of shows.
A little old, but not
Not really anymore.
Yeah.
COVID kind of changed that. Now shows are so expensive.
Are they? It's all perspective.
Speaking of shows, you guys got to see Jersey Boys. I always say it. If you ever see a live performance, you got to see Jersey Boys. It's very
Shit's
good.
corny.
You never seen it?
I've seen it.
No, you haven't.
They're like the Barber Quartet, right?
You saw the movie.
They got the fucking top hats.
Gay
and
ass
they got the
dudes.
shirts
Top
like that.
hats.
They got the same shirts
Yeah,
with the top hats.
they wear tablecloths.
They're like, what size you want? I need an extra large, tall. Nah, short.
It's interesting because they tell the story of like growing up
Belly
in New
button
Jersey,
length.
like back in the day, and there was like three things that people did when they were growing up. They either joined the mob, went into the service, or started a singing group. That's how like the '50s doo-wop, you know, how they came up. And then you realize that like Joe Pesci, you know who Joe Pesci is, right? The actor. He was,
Of course.
yeah, he was part of bringing up the Frankie Valli in the Four Seasons. Or
Frankie
whatever.
Valley. You're just too good to
Yeah.
be true.
And Sherry and all that. Yeah.
Sherry? Sherry.
Yes.
I know that one.
Josh is giving a preview of Saturday.
Do you listen to any older music, like you know,
Yeah.
way
a little
before
bit.
your time?
Sinatra.
Do you?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Know a couple good oldies jams.
Yeah.
Under the boardwalk.
Classic.
That's like oldies, bro. My grandfather listened to that.
Yeah. I love doo-wop.
Only you. Damn, with the sniffles.
I do.
It's my allergies, man. I'm allergic to sobriety.
Seems like that. So, tell us a story.
A story.
We're live with Bree.
A story about what?
Whatever you want. Say something.
How did you and Carissa meet?
Oh, that's a long story.
That's all
I'll
right. We got
shorten
time. Oh, that was cool.
No, I was actually 17,
How old was she?
18.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Statutory.
All right. Let's not put any evidence out there.
I was going to be 18 very shortly.
Jesus.
We had mutual friends, but we didn't know each other. I sent a tweet to her best friend, who was one of my friends, and she sent me a DM and said, "Oh, Amanda's working right now, but you can call me if you want." So I called her and we sat on the phone for like 7 hours.
7 hours?
Yeah, it was crazy. It's just like it felt like 5 minutes too.
Neither
And then
one of you had jobs or anything going on?
no, I was in high school.
Fuck's sake.
And then she
Class?
came to my
Homework?
it was nice. And then she came to my basketball game. A couple days later.
Did you
met in
play
person.
well? The game she went to?
I did.
That's good.
Yeah. I
What
played
if you
well.
would have
position
sucked
you
and she's
play?
like,
I was a forward center.
Yeah.
it's kind of like basketball, but girls basketball.
You
I
played
prefer
basketball a
girls
lot?
basketball.
Like,
I'm kidding.
have you played basketball like your whole life? Or?
Like pick up at the park, but only competitively in high school
Don't
for
sell
the 4
yourself
years.
short. You coach too, right?
Yeah. So after I left high school,
coached
I
UConn?
went into college, and I waited until the freshmen, the girls who were freshmen when I was a senior graduated, and then I went back and coached as an assistant coach
Nice.
for 5 years. Yeah.
My whole childhood life, I played basketball. I played street ball. I played AAU. I played fucking in high school too, which I ended up quitting because I couldn't handle the structure. Like I used to, I don't know, just like the team thing wasn't.
You know, it's hard for me to picture you playing basketball.
Well, I know because you know me like how I am now.
No, not because you're fat, but just because like, just in conversation with you, like it's never. We don't talk about sports ever. So
Well,
like,
look at you. Why would we talk about sports?
because I enjoy watching sports. Like you don't watch them. You don't talk about them. You don't bet on them. It's never a topic. You don't know about them. Like I feel like I'm like, oh, you watching the finals? And you're like, oh,
right.
that's like the championship or something. And I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, never mind.
I don't follow sports at all. Like,
Yeah.
but I played every single one of them. I played soccer, baseball, football.
So like, if you tell me
In fact,
that
I
you
broke
played
my arm playing football.
basketball, what I picture is You ever watch Grease? You know, like when Danny Zuko
Bro, it's
plays
like
basketball.
1950.
You know when he like just carries the ball and he's like, why? And he doesn't dribble or anything. Like that's how I picture you playing basketball.
No, I played like I said, my whole life.
Interesting.
Played basketball. Yeah.
What didn't you like about the team?
Well,
Aspect.
because I played so much street ball, like I couldn't adapt to like the organized structure of like team playing. I had a problem with authority. Like I couldn't handle a coach telling me what to do with the ball, and I was just a dickhead. It was more of ignorance than anything. Though,
You think you outgrew that, or you still think you have that ego issue? That's all it is when you're a kid, right? Like ego, having a problem with authority.
Well, I don't have a problem with authority now. I was in the service guy.
I mean,
You know what I mean? But yeah, I played basketball for quite a while, and I was pretty good actually.
well, pretty good playing street ball at the park with non-players, right?
Yeah.
Then you went to play
We'd
organized.
have like a certain 5 group of friends that would play other, people from other towns. They would come to certain parks. We literally would play over the summer for like 9-10 hours all day.
King of the court.
Yeah.
Whoever won stayed on.
Yeah. That's right.
Pretty standard.
But yeah, learning all the organized stuff, and that wasn't for me.
Wasn't for you.
Coaches wanted you to pass the ball a lot. I'm like, nah, just fucking put it in the hole. in the hoop. But
I found that the team, being on a basketball team, was the best part of my life.
yeah.
Yeah. Growing up. Yeah.
What's depressing?
I look back at it. It was like
What about the
one
rest
of
of
the
your
best.
life? Damn,
Well, no,
fuck.
I mean like as like younger. Like I look back on it, and like my senior year was like the best year.
So far, the best year of my life has been 2022.
Last year.
Yeah, 23 is not over yet, so
Yeah, you can't say it is yet or not.
yeah, hopefully we're.
Did you play any sports when you were?
Of course,
Yeah.
yeah, man. I still play now. Play softball on Monday nights.
I saw the bat.
I golf every now and then.
Golf's not a sport.
True.
It's a game.
It's more than what you do, though.
Okay.
You're not a
Right.
sport. You're not a
I
sport.
can't argue with you. You made a good point.
I kind of play softball on Monday nights, depending on who you ask. You know, I'm good for 1 or 2 innings. I go up there, swing the bat.
You just gotta hit it out of the park, so you don't have to worry about it.
But yeah, no, in school, for my actual high school, I played soccer. I played baseball. That's it. And I played football when I was a kid, but never in school. My high school didn't have a football team.
I
And then
did.
I left, and they did.
I did volleyball, basketball, track and field.
What'd you do in track and field? Like,
I ran the 800, and then I did shot put, hammer, javelin.
no shit.
Javelin is it's like the fucking spear.
Yeah, I wasn't good at that. I was better at the shot put and the hammer.
Wow.
But also, Johnston didn't really compete when it came to track. Our track had like potholes in it. So when we went to the meets, like even our fastest girl would be like, "Oh yeah, line up for the sprint."
You're like, nah,
We'd
I'm
be
good.
dead last.
I'm gonna pass. Don't go in lane 6. You fucking break a knee.
I'm just thinking we were talking about drinking earlier. Yeah, a bunch of us would all go to the liquor store, buy 40s, and go to the park and play basketball and drink all day.
Yeah.
That's fuck.
Yep.
That's a different kind
40 or
of
what? E&J. I mean, Old English.
yeah. Old English Colt 45.
Colt 45. Remember that episode we did with the 40s?
Yes.
Instead of getting a bottle one episode, bro, we just got a bunch of 40s.
Fuck you
We
up.
kept them in the brown. We
Yeah.
kept them in the brown bag. I think you pull it up, bro. We kept it in the brown bag. Who was on that episode? Fedoras and 40s.
Nolan. Was it Nolan?
Nolan Ryan.
Joe.
Oh, Joe
Nolan
Nolan.
Ryan. Yeah, the pitcher.
I never drank and played basketball.
Oh.
One time in
There's something about being drunk doing athletic shit.
Oh no! One time in a pregame, I took a 5-hour energy, and then during the game, someone passed me the ball, and I went like this, and then the ball came by after. So like, I
It was
reached
the
for
5-hour energy.
I was like
How'd you
wired.
going? Yeah.
Probably worse than being drunk.
I
Man.
remember me and my buddy Steve, R.I.P. We were playing fucking soccer at Davies together on like the freshman team, and we were just hotheads, dude. So we'd be in the game,
High as
in the
fuck.
field, high as fuck. But dude, we were so high, like we'd forget that we were winded. So it's like we would never need to be taken out because we would just run for the full fucking 2 hours. You know what I mean? Just so caked, and then after the game, like, why does everything hurt so bad? Like, dude, you didn't drink any water or like take a break.
I'm just thinking,
we're out there
40s are
cooked,
like,
bro.
You would fucking drink all the way to like this much. And that's when it was hot as fuck.
And then you had
warm.
to chew it at the bottom. Look at all
like,
that fucking
Fuck
sediment
those
in
dead
there.
homies, you fucking pour it out.
You know what you're
Fucked
doing?
up.
Who's the guy?
You say, you know what you're doing?
Who is it? What, Norland?
It's literally
Back
right
in the
there.
day.
No, it's not.
Back in the day.
It's an old one, man. Maybe like top first 20.
Who was on
Go,
it?
just go to videos and scroll on the bottom, bro. I don't know the kid's name. Who was
It's
on
Joe Nolan. I believe it's Joe Nolan. What happened to Joe Nolan?
He's chilling.
Oh, nice.
There it is. Fifth one up.
Yeah.
That was a fun one.
The fuck were you doing?
Why you trying to lick me,
Hey,
dog?
everybody.
Listen to the difference in audio quality.
It's my favorite day of the week.
It actually wasn't
because I
bad.
get
Those
to
were
hump.
$40 USB mics.
Anywho, on today's, not on today's, where am I going? A little ahead of schedule here. Today's episode of the podcast.
$40 USB mics, bro.
I don't know.
Colt
I had
45.
One
Go
shit
45.
camera.
any company or business.
What the fuck?
Look at
does something
Jay.
like that because of controversy. They're scared to take some kind of side. You know what I'm saying?
Look
Like,
at our
terrible.
sweaters.
to put a statue
Our
up,
logo.
that's a big thing. Like, you're really idolizing
He
somebody.
was looking kind of buff in that.
Well, what about all the
I used to be
statues that take
ashamed.
them down south?
And then to take it down.
He's got
I
the
don't wanna say just
snowball
because
mic,
of
bro.
15 people, 'cause that
The
might not be
snowball
said. I mean,
mic.
That's the only
we're
recorded
so terrible.
and that could have
complaints.
just kind of brought something to light.
We had two laptops
But I mean,
going with some
I don't
shitty
know.
ass
Like, why would you
Logitech
take a
software,
statue
bro. Now look at you.
of Michael Jackson. I don't even get it. Maybe
What
it would
bothers
be
me, Jay,
appropriate,
is like
let's say, if-
all of this existed then.
And
And
we
when
didn't
we
do
talked
it.
to our old
was-
tech guy about it, he's like, "Nah, what
was
you're trying to do is
investing
not
kids.
possible." I'm like, "Whoa, bro.
What do you think?
Obviously, we can do it. We just need to know what we need."
Had me fucked up there for a minute. I'm
It's
like,
like you need a $20,000 computer. Like, what the fuck are you talking about,
it's,
bro?
it's tough to say, but look, like you said, the statue's there.
Oh man, the audio sucks.
The audio's so bad.
Did you
Look, there's a
confirm
painting
that's
in the
it?
back?
Did you confirm it's the right person you thought?
Yes.
Who that person?
Yeah.
Joe Nolan.
Joe Nolan.
Yeah, he's a good egg.
Yo, you look straight up fucking from South America, guy.
I was gonna say Jersey in the '50s.
Yeah.
Look like my name is Nucky.
Nucky.
Man, sir. 7:45.
What do you think our best episode back then was? Like where we had the best time, not necessarily most views or whatever.
Oof, the dogs are fun. The
Yeah.
first time the dogs were on, there was a lot of laughing going on. I remember forget fucking all we did was we were like, hey, what's up? Say what's up, guys. Udi's like, what's up? Freddy's like, "Arr, arr, arr." Udi's like, bro, fucking say what's up. You're making us look bad. And then we were talking about, whether it's in your benefit to be like white or black or a minority when filling out certain things. And Udi was just like, hell yeah. He's like, man, I know that. Or it might have been Freddie, but if it's like, he's like, if it's for college application, I'm a minority. If it's for government benefits, I'm white. Like, it was like, whatever is going to be in my best interest, that's what I'm using.
Oh my god.
Damn, it's been a long road, buddy.
What year is that?
4 years,
4 years
ago.
ago. I think I'm wait.
2019?
I thought it was earlier than that.
It had to be.
2019, February.
Really? No,
Yeah, whatever.
can't. It couldn't have been. It couldn't have been.
No, it just on the screen.
No, it couldn't. It just, I know that we're seeing it. It's not making sense to me, though.
Right.
Because like you took us a long time off, and then I re-popped it back in, and then COVID stopped it. COVID didn't happen until March. I mean,
20?
maybe, bro. How long?
March of
maybe
2020.
maybe we didn't stop that first time for as long as I thought I did, like without you.
Maybe, yeah. We had some pretty wild
What
great
else was
times.
Living through. Look at our first episode. Didn't have any video, bro.
It was just audio.
I don't think the second one had video either.
What made you guys decide to do the podcast?
It was actually Josh's kind of baby.
I remember that line. George Ferrera was telling us how He saw like a man, woman, person inside of a store checkout. He's like, so I'm going through fucking Marshalls and you know, like I'm just trying to buy my shit, and I'm just like, all right, thank you, sir. And the person's like, I'm not a sir, and he goes, I'm sorry. And then Jerry's like, well, how did you know it was a man to begin with? He's like, because I could see his dick. Oh shit,
George.
Look how dark everything was. So dark, bro. We had,
Yeah, the
I mean,
lighting.
I'll give us credit, bro. Like at least we knew the thumbnail game had to be on point, Brandon. Look at us. Look at your boys, bro. We didn't know shit. Not just us chilling with 575 views. What up? My boy Maurice.
Crazy in Love with Jay Goodwin.
That fucking weirdo. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, bro. He's hot and cold with me. I know it's your boy, but
I still liked that episode with Jenny. Jenny Costa,
Jenna Costa.
the vegan.
Oh, she brought the bomb vegan food,
Yeah,
bro.
she
We're
did.
just fucking getting
I was getting hammered and I was just
full as
grilling her.
fuck on some General Tso fucking Grassberg, whatever that shit was called.
You vegan?
I'll tell you what,
No.
that's what we should do. Actually, I wanted
I'm
to
not
say,
vegan.
this would take some time, but I think it'd be cool if we could compile like our top 10 coolest clips ever and play it Saturday.
Yeah.
Well,
That'd
you
be
say
fun.
yeah. I'm just saying that would require literally a lot of watching shit and making a clip.
All right.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna hold you
I don't
to
know if
that.
we have time for.
No,
we
well,
got a
that's what I'm
week
saying.
out.
It's about making the time. That's why I don't want you to just say yes unless you're sure. But that episode right there, number 22, has one of the best clips ever. That bitch just threw a fucking Cheeto at Jay, and he's like, oh. Like, you
Yes.
remember that, bro?
Hold
Oh,
on.
you're never gonna find it, bro. It's 2 hours long.
It's showtime at the Apollo. This episode is brought to you by
This is when we couldn't even.
endorsers,
No,
our
we
wonderful
got kicked out of our
endorsers.
studio. We had to barter.
First one is Anthony.
space. This was
Anthony.
This honestly was
Thomas
my
Allen
least
Johnson.
favorite time ever. I hated this place.
That's the place
That
in
was
Cranston.
Legends, yeah.
Legend.
Whatever you
I hated that we didn't have our own space. We were using another space.
We made it happen.
No, we didn't, bro. It was shit. I wish we didn't even do these episodes.
called a temp here.
No, a temp is like where you just do this. And
Temple area?
Bro, a temp is fucking the line. The lineup.
A temp
dark.
fade?
A little bit of shade on, bro.
That's a
Is
temp.
That's a temp
Are you
fade.
talking about a lineup?
this what it looked like? No.
a lineup
Our
and a
episode
shade
does not
are
look
two
like
different-
that.
are the
Hell
same
no.
thing, but we call them a shade.
You know, you pillage, you plunder, it was what it was, discovering the map.
Fuck.
this, that, and the
Like, just
other.
like it lands,
Bro, there's
right
like
on
one
my-
down.
Well,
That shit's
for
been
oil.
down here for
But
2
anyways,
days and I can't get it to
so,
leave.
I just, my,
Then we had, remember the
my
alien? Yeah.
grandparents-
Look
get
at
it.
her.
Let's
Look
go.
at her.
The
Look at
alien
her
chicks.
necklace.
I know, that's
I
weird.
know that's the evil eye.
You lie. Look right at you.
The alien chicks were fun.
The alien chicks were like, "You guys are weird." We're like, "You're getting
You
raped by
just
aliens."
told me a story about you like
Blowing
having
aliens.
an alien bra down your throat, and then you woke up pregnant. And I'm weird. Like,
Yeah, that's exactly.
Josh and Jay are
very
like,
cool.
Bree's so boring. Let's talk about every good guest we've ever
no,
had.
no, you're not boring. How did this even come?
No,
up? We
we
just
are
talking
really-
about 40s.
Yeah.
I'm just joking.
Nah, here we go. Here we go. That was definitely our wackest episode ever.
Which one?
Anyways, move on. Let's move on. See what? That's why I said we got to keep the on-air thing. When you show us something, man, you need to be in and out. Boom, boom. Because we'll fucking go on for hours being distracted.
It's all right. We're looking at our old creation.
History.
Yeah, our history, man. But it started. You asked how it started. So, you see Jay and I together, you know, and it's always been like that. And I was just telling him, I'm like, dude, I've always wanted to start a podcast. I like podcasts. You know,
Podcasts like
you're
you.
not. You're pretty funny. You make me laugh. And you're not a complete idiot. Like I feel like we would be okay talking for a couple hours. So we're like, all right, cool. And then we thought about it for a minute. And he's such a bitch when it comes to starting something. Like he wants to wait and wait and wait and wait. And be like, yeah, man, let's do a couple years worth of research before we start.
All right,
And
chill
I'm the
out. I didn't say
opposite.
that.
Well, I'm the opposite. On the other spectrum, I'm like, let's start today, bro. We'll use the phones, the cameras. Our fucking phones.
I just want to plan things out.
He wants to overplan, and I'm probably a bit too impulsive. So it ended up working out well. I'll be honest with you. I think the planning and concern then was probably more financial because, like, we couldn't afford
We
to
had a limited budget.
We couldn't afford to buy mics and not have them be perfect. You know, so this time starting up was so much easier. But we did. I mean, we planned it. We got it started, and then we just tried to we'd watch it or listen and be like, "Hey, man, let's make it a little better. Let's make it a little better. We need video. Video was like the big change."
Yeah, people like to see people's face.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to stimulate people nowadays, bro. Like, think about even like TikTok. You know, everything is just so quick moving,
Right.
like in your face.
It's like instant gratification
yeah, it's
constantly.
wild. That's why that app is so powerful, dude.
Yeah.
You get a lot of information in like 30 seconds.
That's what it is. That's why our shorts kill it. You know what I mean? I upload shorts, bro, like YouTube shorts. I get like 1,000 views all the time
Right.
in like an hour.
Perfect. You
Yes,
finally
thank
fucking
you.
did it.
I was waiting for it.
Oh, we need to like have those ready to go too at the live one. That'll be fun because those
Yes.
sounds will come out of the speakers. Like I can't wait for us to say something, then we get like a crowd interaction, and some bozo tries to make a joke, and then you can hit him with a. Wah, wah.
What other sounds do we have on that thing? I mean,
Bro, we can make any sound we want on that.
really
It can be
like
custom.
record, or just
You can
pulls
record
from-
and no, you can record and put your own sound.
It may not mean nothing at all.
I like that one. Claps. But yeah, like we can record a sound. We just gonna go through them.
Man, like fucking fairy dust just fell on my
That was like, what?
like just fell on my head. So
Does that happen to you whenever someone talks?
what's that?
Like people talk and just a song plays in my head. Like they say,
They say certain words.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
and then I'm
all
just
the
like
time.
singing the song in my head.
Yeah,
I have
all
to
the
like catch
fucking
myself
time.
to actually listen to what they're saying.
Somebody could be like, yeah, not that they would say this, but if they said something like, yeah, I got friends in low,
Low
places.
places.
I got friends in low.
It's like the other day, somebody came up to me and they were like, "Yo, did you see everything? It was all yellow." You're fucking stupid, bro.
We spent a good
Shut
5
up.
hours.
I said never talk about that again.
We spent a good 5 hours.
You who?
Me and this chick.
Yeah. No, it's definitely not gay.
Never mind. I'll keep that to myself.
Thank you.
Cilantro. You said thank you. Like,
Cilantro.
You just give it away. Like I was talking about a chick. You're like, thank you.
Give it away, give it away, give it away. I'm going to actually try throughout the duration of the episode to put very popular song quotes in a conversation and see if you won't notice it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like those things on TikTok where they go and they're like, I need to tell you about my feelings. And they like start reading. It's
Wait, what did they
It's a
do?
song.
I don't have TikTok, so I don't.
like, so they'll come into the room and be like, they'll like sing a
have TikTok.
song, but like say it and try to see if their partner can tell that they're.
Oh
they're
wait,
singing
I
a
have
song.
seen.
Dude,
Yeah.
the best one ever was like last year or the year before with the Bruno Mars song, texting it to people. It's like, what you doing? Where you
you
at? Dude, I got so many people with that.
I'm just thinking. Remember the meme that everybody used to send around? That big ass black dude on the side of the bed. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, with his hammer just hanging out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck?
Yeah. Why are you thinking about that?
Because you were talking about like shit that you
We're talking
do
about
with
music and
friends.
songs and shit. Like,
No,
it's like you were
No one
talking
said
about
that one
things
to
you
me.
jerk off to. So.
that was one that fucking. It was always like a. How would this? I would get a text message.
You would
say
get a
something
text
like,
message that'd be like, fucking Trump just went crazy. Click here.
Click here.
You click and it's just
That
bam,
picture.
black hammer. Hanging out.
hilarious.
Bro. I remember I took that and I photoshopped Omar's face on that dude.
on his hammer.
Yes, like on the head. It was like, oh man.
Omar's funny.
Yeah, I've tried to get him on a few times, but he's not having it.
Why?
He just doesn't want to.
I think a lot of people get like camera shy. They don't want to talk, obviously, on cam.
Maybe.
Hey, you know what? Our first several episodes, I actually felt that way. I was like, fuck, man. I'm saying a lot of shit on here. Like, I'm putting my opinions out there. But after a while, you just realize, like, I don't give a flying fuck anymore. I don't care.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Yo, there's speaking of not giving a fuck, have any of you seen any previews or advertisements for that movie Sound of Freedom?
I saw the movie.
You did? No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
When?
That doesn't matter. I saw the movie.
I'm serious though. Have you seen?
I saw the movie.
When did you see the movie?
It doesn't matter when I saw the
matters.
movie. Why? Why does that matter?
It matters, bro.
I saw the movie.
Because he wants to see if it was possible that you actually saw the movie.
To be honest, I think the movie sucks. The messages.
Why does the movie suck?
Because when you're trying to make somebody feel something, like you're trying to hit their sensory, you know, they just didn't do it. They could have done it a lot better, you know. And I'm not saying like. Anyway, yeah, it's just the storyline. Even though it's a true story that Homeland Security agent, you know, he turns into like a hero and saves all these kids. It could have like really made you almost cry. It could have really fucked you. No.
Do you know what the movie's about?
I haven't heard about this at all.
So it's a movie that is meant to bring a lot of awareness to like child sex trafficking and human trafficking in the United States and how bad it really is and how often it happens and where it happens and how it's not like some big conspiracy that's too far from everybody, but it's more common than everybody realizes. And but no, the reason I brought it up is there's a lot of, it's weird. Like you didn't know about it. You know what I mean? Where fucking everybody knows about the Little Mermaid coming out and all these stupid movies, you know, Indiana Jones. But like a movie like this that should be, especially when it's doing well, like it's doing really well in the box office, but it's not being advertised, you know?
Well, at the end of the movie, they actually give a message, and they ask that, you know, if you can, to pay for tickets. It's like it's called Angel something. Pay for tickets for people that can't afford to go to the movies, but they just want you to see the movie because they want to make
that message out there, bro, because it's an important one. There's been, you know, I watch a lot of videos, and, you know, people are crazy online, so they just post shit. But there's a lot of stories that have common kind of themes where people are buying tickets to see the movie, and then the movie theater is refunding their tickets without really telling them why, but just saying, hey, you know, here's a refund. You know, the movie's canceled or whatever. And then people are still going to the theater like, what the fuck's going on? And the movie's not canceled. They're able to go in and watch it. But imagine how many people are dissuaded from going if you get a refund saying, hey, it's canceled.
Right, yeah.
Almost like, you know, like these theaters there's some pressure from somewhere to kind of suppress the movement of this movie.
Yeah, they said that they actually created the movie 5 years ago. And they had to go through all this, like, it's probably all that pressure, you know, to get the movie released. But it is about child sex trafficking, and it's fucking
Can we
crazy.
get any of this up on here, bro? Sound of Freedom is the name of the movie.
Yeah.
I watched a clip. You know who Dana White is? Dana White is like the president of the UFC.
UFC.
Rich as fuck, bro. The UFC probably employs, I don't know, close to 5,000 people, if I had to guess. And he just came out and made a video and said, listen, if anybody that works for the UFC, anybody at all wants to go see it, he pays for everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is cool.
You guys
have
ever
to
heard
check
of
it out.
Yeah, you guys ever heard of the movie Passion of the Christ?
Yes.
So, without ever being religious, right? You don't have to be religious to watch that movie and feel the drama. Like you're like,
yeah,
right?
okay.
Like, yeah. And I think they could have done that with this movie, but for whatever reason they didn't. And I'm not saying they should be, you know, they're not videos of like people fucking kids and shit, but I think the movie itself.
Is this the trailer? Mm-hmm. Let me see the trailer.
288.
They might
kids you found.
block this part out of the video, like YouTube, but it's fine.
It is the fastest growing international crime network that the world has ever seen.
It's fucked up.
It has already passed the illegal arms trade, and soon it's gonna pass the drug trade. Because you can sell a bag of cocaine one time to a child 5 to 10 times a day.
People just snatching kids
Not
up.
for sale. How long you been doing this? 12 years now. How many pedophiles you got? 288. How many kids you found?
Timoteo, tú rescatas niños, ¿verdad? ¿Puedes ayudarme a encontrar
You know what they're saying?
Te lo prometo.
For Homeland Security, you know we can't go off rescuing Honduran kids in Colombia.
Which means she'll disappear for good. Imagine walking into her room right now, seeing an empty bed. What we do?
You quit your job, and you go and rescue those kids.
So at this moment, she could be a block down the road, or she could be in Moscow, Bangkok, LA. She's a major operator.
It's all rebel territory. No one goes in. Not the army, not the police, not us.
What if this was your daughter?
It's crazy.
There's a Marine unit coming.
You're on your own.
This job tears you to pieces. And this is my one chance to put those pieces back together.
When God tells you what to do, you cannot hesitate.
It's wild.
Actually, Jim Cav, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. He's the one that actually played Christ in The Passion of the Christ.
When I see things like that, bro, I feel like a piece of shit for spending any of my time doing anything other than not trying to save kids.
I just don't understand how people can. I mean,
Well,
here
you
comes
sh-
my opinion.
you
Be
shouldn't
attracted to little children. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, what about that is attractive?
Yeah, I mean,
Like
there's people that are
sexualizing,
like
yeah.
that are
Listen.
attracted to. They fuck their cars, like literally.
I know. I saw that.
called mechanophilia.
I saw that video of the
Yeah.
guy.
It's
He was like literally,
Yeah,
like
fucking
making
his
love
cars.
to his cars.
I don't
Weird.
have I don't have an issue. Well, I mean, it's weird as fuck.
That's
Yeah.
weird.
But I don't
to say
think
that.
the problem. No. There's. I mean, you can make a joke about it, obviously, if you want to. It's an easy, it's low hanging fruit. But it's like having the attraction for them is one thing. Acting on it is the real problem. Because we all agree, right? You can't help what you're attracted to. You know what I mean? Like that's not. They're just born that way. You could probably agree with that more than any of us. Like you're attracted to what you're attracted to. You can suppress that. You can do whatever you want. That's not the issue. The issue is when you act on it. You know, that's really where the crime is. And it's like, it's fucked up, man.
Well, you know what? Speaking of all this, so in certain cultures, it's actually more accepted. For instance, even in the Philippines, or let's say Thailand, those Asian, Southwest Asia, wherever the fuck that is, Southeast Asia, all that. It's not as what's the word I'm looking for? Like
It's illegal.
Well, no, in some
It's
cultures,
just more
people get
accepted,
married
yeah.
at 12.
Right.
Like that's their norm.
And it's like when you look at the world as a whole, so where is the standard? America doesn't always just set the standards, you know, like I guess in America, it's 18, that's when you're a legal adult. I don't know what the consent age is.
16.
Which even that is kind of weird. I mean,
16 is the consent.
when we have science that tells us your brain isn't fully developed until you're 25 ish, you know? Like
Right.
even 18 seems young, you know. You're 40 years old. I'm 34 years old. I have no business ever fucking around with an 18-year-old girl. You know what I mean? That's still a kid. Like, yeah, legally, it's an adult, but legality doesn't equal like morality. You know what I mean?
Right,
to me,
right,
it's
right.
still like it's still a baby.
Yeah.
You know, think of like I remember when I was fucking 18. Like, you don't know shit.
You think
You're
you
not
know.
making
You
good
think you know everything,
decisions.
but you know nothing.
You know.
Well, these people had such a hard time coming out with this movie, probably because of all the Epstein shit. It's all like related. All these powerful elite people, they're all fucking pedophiles, and that's all they do. When you have all the time and the money, you find weird ways to enjoy life, and that's one of them for them. That's what all those kings in other countries, they're all crazy pedophiles. That sounds like conspiracy theory, but it's almost like it's slowly coming out. Like, you know,
What's really happening?
Yeah.
that we all don't know about. Yeah.
like think about, I mean, not to get into a big
It's just so much
discussion.
easier now to share information.
Yeah.
Across like the world.
Like there was an island that everybody used to go to fuck kids. It was called Fuck Island. That's where Jeffrey Epstein lived, and that's where everybody that's why all those celebrities were on. Nobody talks about it. Nobody says really anything.
Well, tons of people do and talk about it, you know, like, and says anything, you know, like,
Well,
that's why you know about it, people talking about it.
Well, I'm saying, like, you have to ask, why aren't mainstream media?
But we know why. I mean, we can have the same, we can
But do we know why?
regurgitate this.
Like,
yeah, bro, the money and the power, like, we've went over this a million times. It almost seems tired to have the conversation.
We don't talk about it that much.
We have a bunch of times, and it's like a dead end, you know? What do we want to say about it?
All right.
Why don't we
I
talk
know. Do you want to sit here and stare at each other?
No, it's just like, I just mean that one. It's kind of like you say, it's like conspiracy shit. I mean, conspiracy shit. Like, yeah, we know it happened. Why isn't the mainstream media talking about it? Why aren't they talking about it? Because there's money and power that control them and stop them from talking about it. So it's like, what's the point of us talking about it right now? Bring awareness?
I think, well, yeah, we're talking about the sound of freedom and child sex trafficking. You know, it's like, it happens. Even Disney being accused of, I don't know how many kids disappear from Disneyland or Disney World or wherever the fuck. But even them, you know, being part of it and pedophilia, like the Pope having fucking pedophilia symbols on his garb. It's just weird. All of it's weird.
Hey, pull one up for me, bro. When I, anytime I see fucking, like, on social media, that's good. Like, you know, like a missing kid or an Amber Alert or something, man, it goes through me so bad. Like, it's the scariest thing as a parent, like losing your kid. We lost my son, Carter, my 9-year-old, bro, last year. Thought we lost him. And I tell you, it was the fucking worst 10 minutes of my life. Like, nauseous, immediately started thinking all the worst shit, bro. Going to every neighbor's house, knocking on their door, like, just assuming the worst about everybody. You know what I mean? Like, I said some terrible things to my neighbor, bro, because I thought there was a chance he might have my kid. So scary.
I feel that way even if my daughter doesn't answer the phone.
Well, because, yeah, you just know all the fucked up things that are out there in the world. Yeah. I'm like, yo, it's like you lose all ration. Like, the most likely scenario was that my kid took off on his scooter or his bike, and I can't see him or hear him right now. But it's like you start thinking, like, no, somebody has him tied up in a basement already. He could be fucking, you know, at the airport, you know, for all I know.
Well, the problem is that it doesn't take long, right?
Yeah.
So, like, if you don't think that, you
it
might
could be
lose your
happening.
moment.
so
You know,
fun,
if you always default to, oh, it's probably nothing, then the time it is something, you're wasting time.
Dude,
Well, think about it. Even right now, as we're talking, there are some kids locked up somewhere, whether it's in somebody's basement or in the jungle, like this movie, or wherever, getting tortured, getting fucked, getting something. You know, it's happening right now as we speak. It
doesn't make you feel guilty just going through life knowing that?
That along with tons of other things, yeah.
'Cause I feel like it's like, what's the decision? Like, are you okay with it? Like, you're just cool with that happening?
No, but there has to be some kind of realistic acceptance level. Not saying
You don't
that
feel it's your responsibility to worry about it.
No, it's not that. It's kind of like even starving children in Africa or something.
Talk about that. You think that's cool? That's all right?
No, I don't.
But it's not your problem, so we don't have to worry about it.
That fucking bothers me. That's why I always say, you see when I post on Facebook, like there's billionaires in this world that sleep on their piles of money while there's young kids starving fucking to death, just laying on the ground. You see them and their ribs are showing. And like, how do you...
You have to balance those things, though. Like,
do you, though? Because some people devote their life to saving those kids.
Yeah.
In your brain, you have to balance them because there are hundreds of things, thousands of things that are wrong. And if you sat there every day at like the forefront of worry, you would drive yourself insane.
It almost makes you wonder.
If everybody thought like that, nobody would ever get the help they need.
I'm not saying do anything.
Hold on. I'm just trying to, like, I'm trying to make a point. But there are people that dedicate their lives to helping starving kids or fighting sex trafficking. You know, what if more people were like that? You might be able to solve those issues.
Right. Yeah.
So it makes me feel good because like I'm just here chilling and drinking. Like we're like, oh yeah, there's kids tied up in a basement right now, and the four of us we can say whatever we want, but our actions are, fuck them, not my problem.
To some degree, you're right. You're absolutely right. And I say that all the time, even when I'm playing poker. I'm like, man, you know what? There's fucking starving kids in the world, and I'm over here playing a game with my money. I'm throwing my money around like, oh, okay, I lost or I won, and you know, same exact shit.
But the point I was making is even those people, like the people who are dedicating their life to helping the hungry children, they're not helping the sex trafficking children, and they're not helping. Like you can dedicate your life to a cause, but you have to have some balance in your mind of all the bad going on because even if you dedicate your life to doing good, you can't touch everything that's bad. There's just not enough time, money, or anything.
To me, sounds like a coping mechanism to
not
acknowledge the fact that we're just selfish.
But those people, so you think those people who dedicate their life are selfish?
No.
But I just said they can't dedicate their life to every single thing.
No, but they're dedicating their life to something.
Right. But you have, so you, because I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like I do things in my life. I dedicate, I work for the public. I'm a government employee.
Right. Yeah,
I also dedicate
that's just your job, though. It's not like a...
that's what I choose to do. I could go make $50,000, $60,000 more with my degree working in the private sector.
Do you do it to help the public, or you do it because you got good benefits and you get paid? It's a good career.
I like helping. I've gotten offered jobs in the private sector to do the same thing for more money.
I'm a pessimist, so it's hard for me to accept that.
I also volunteer for a nonprofit that I don't get paid for.
Yeah, listen, I'm not
for things that
don't
I'm
take this like a personal attack because
I'm not taking a personal attack, but I'm going to respond with my opinion.
Yeah, you can respond. To me, this all just sounds like a coping mechanism to not acknowledge like, fuck, man, we're just pieces of shit.
Well, maybe that's the way you think, and therefore you think everybody thinks that way. But that's not.
Yeah, I don't care if you guys think like that. What I think is, that's what I think it is. It's like I start to, like knowing that all of this is going on, and I'm not spending every hour to, like, think about it. If it was my kid, that would be the only thing on my mind is saving my kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, think about it. If your kid is missing, bro, and you know that they're tied up being sex trafficked, every breath and every ounce of energy you have would always be spent to saving them. So
you know what's even more fucked up is that
there's so many of us that ignore it.
Well, that and even again the people that we look up to, the people that probably can do something because they do have authority, they do have power, they do have the funds. They're silent. They're completely silent. It's different for us to do it versus, and
again, still feels like a coping mechanism to me, because it's how's it different? How's it different?
Because it takes money and
but you have
takes lots of money.
You have money. You have time. You have resources.
My money is not going to do anything.
That's crazy to think.
No.
How much money you make last year?
Let's
say it was $100,000.
What I'm saying is that
you're saying your money wouldn't do anything. You don't think your money could feed a kid for a year?
No, because I have my kid to feed, and I got other responsibilities.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's say the money you lose playing poker. You don't think that could feed a kid for a couple months?
I'm talking about child sex trafficking, but I understand what you're saying.
I mean, it could buy you a ticket to where it could be happening.
And then what?
You save a motherfucker.
No. You need guns. You need fucking...
All of those things help. Every resource is a resource. There are people that have more resources, but I'm sure there are people that have less than you do that are figuring out a way to help. That's why I'm saying, like, and again, bro, I'm not
being realistic.
No, I know. Realistic is your choice of a word to use here. That's your opinion on what's realistic. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, I'm there with you. You know what I mean? I'm just letting you know, like, fuck, man, we're scumbags.
No,
like,
if you wanted to go save some kids in the jungles of South America, you couldn't do it.
I don't know. I think I could. I could make an impact. I probably can't save them all by myself, but I might be able to save one. I might be able to get a group together that can save a couple.
Impact is like, well, how much of an impact? You know what I'm saying? And any impact is good.
Well, so. No. You're saying, like, is it worth the sacrifice that my own selfish things that I'm giving up?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm
just also, what do you consider selfish? Like, you're a father.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna leave when you...
So I have, now not only can I go and assist, I have influence over 2 to 3 people that could also fight that problem. So there's really 2 ways to always look at it.
Like, so in this movie, this guy's a Homeland Security agent. He has to go through leaps and bounds, quitting his job, going through political channels to even get into a spot, where he has support and
of course, bro.
Boats and fucking guns and, backup and radio.
Never. I'm never saying that it's easy. I'm just saying it's important.
Oh no, of course it's important, but I'm saying, like, for somebody like me, for somebody like you couldn't do that. I couldn't do that.
Why not?
Because we're not in those positions. We don't have those connects.
So you don't think there's anybody that's not, like, involved in the government that is assisting in the fight against child sex trafficking?
I'm saying people, just normal people like you and I.
But what makes somebody normal? Like you and I.
What do you mean?
Well, what do you mean normal people like you
We're
and
not
I?
involved in, like, we don't have those channels of connections.
So that you think everybody that's assisting in the fight against human trafficking is involved in government channels?
No, you're using all this, like,
I'm just I'm using what you say, bro.
No. Listen, can you make an impact? This is where I agree with you. Can Josh Pilardi make an impact? Of course.
Well, that's it. That's
what you do what that guy's doing? No.
Who said it has to be what he's doing?
Okay, well, that's what you're making it sound like.
It's never what I'm sounding. I'm just
you
saying,
can't go down in the jungle and rescue kids.
Maybe not right now, but you can make the right moves to where in 2 years you can.
No, that's not going to happen. It takes a lot more.
If that's the cause you're
maybe,
passionate about, also.
That's where you hit it.
But I'm saying
really
there's thousands of causes. You have to pick what's important.
That's like saying, hey, I'm going to hunt down, like during the Gulf War, I'm going to hunt down Saddam Hussein myself and just kill him. Like, okay, no, you're not going to do that. You can't even fly into the country.
It's not like saying that at all.
It is.
It's
That's
like
what I'm trying to say. There's
it's
more
like
logistics to it than just like
what it's like saying is it's like saying, hey, I want to fight terrorism.
Yeah.
I'm going to join the military. Oh, this is the unit that gets sent out there. I'm going to do what I can to get into that unit. Okay, this is the team that is most likely to go and look for him. I'm going to try to do what I can to get on that team. That's how it works. You know, it's not like, hey, I'm just going to go do it by myself today. I'm not saying it's easy, bro. You know, and realistic is just kind of a, that's an opinion kind of type word.
I don't think if you don't do that, though, that you're not passionate about the issue or think something's wrong with it. Like, right now, I know you've both been in the military.
Well,
but
we
let's
all
say,
know something is wrong with
right,
it. Right,
but I'm saying, like, right now,
we're not passionate
let's
about
pretend
it,
that
though.
you weren't in the
We've
military
never talked
before
about this.
and you want to get into the military now and do exactly what you just said. You said, I want to fight terrorism, I want to get in the military, terrorism's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, you have to look at the priorities that are in your life that are also important.
Mm-hmm.
2 kids who you're raising, your father figure, your house, your wife, your family you provide for.
Yeah.
If you're going to quit your job to go join the military, you are now probably making less money than you make right now. You are going to be away from your family for God knows how long. You go out there because you're passionate about terrorism, you get shot and killed. Now your 2 kids are fatherless.
Yeah, I get it.
There's a whole thing about father. So
we
I'm
can
saying,
paint
like,
any kind of crazy scenarios that could or might happen. But really, you made a good point. The one good point that I take from all of that is that it's what you're passionate about, what you put importance on. You know, what you think is more important than anything else. And I'm just calling it what it is. You know what I mean? It's weird to say out loud because it sounds like shit. But to me, spending my money on booze and having fun and enjoyment is more important than fighting human trafficking. And it's weird and annoying to acknowledge that.
Because the reality is that your impact on human trafficking is minimal. Is it impact? Yes. It's very minimal.
But that's just a selfish thing. Because it's still an impact there. Which
I'm agreeing with you.
What I'd be giving up selfishly would impact me personally more than whatever you think that I might be able to help there.
Right.
And let me be very clear, bro. I'm not judging either of you for disagreeing with me. But I understand why you're disagreeing, you know, because it's hard to kind of...
I don't disagree with the point you just made.
Well,
I don't, because you're saying
it's hard to disagree with that point because it's true.
No, but it is true. You're saying that going out, drinking, playing poker, whatever, having fun with your friends, if you had to cut all that back in order to send, we'll call it $10,000, which is going to make a very minimal impact in that thing that you're worried about, then you're like, all right, I have to sacrifice so much of my personal life to make an impact that's going to do this. Some people say that impact's worth it. Some people think it's not.
Right. That's all it is.
And the reality is that even, let's say if it was $10,000, you don't even know if that money's actually going to reach exactly what you want it to do because of all the
You might
bullshit.
not, bro. But these are all things that we tell ourselves to kind of feel better about not doing it.
No, I think there's just, a realistic sense of, like, if you have a lot more money...
it's easier, of course.
Yeah.
Nobody's arguing with that, though. That's just life.
Because you can
have more money, everything is easier.
You can ensure that what you're putting forth towards that goal or whatever, it actually is going towards what you want it to.
Yeah.
As opposed to, you know, hey, I'm just going to donate $10 a week to fucking whatever fund, hoping that some scumbag's not fucking, you know, taking it on a salary because he's working for the same.
No, I get it, bro. There's a lot of things that I could say to justify why I don't do it.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be honest with myself. And the reason that I don't do it is because it's not worth it to me.
Right, because of those reasons, not because you don't care.
No, it's because I enjoy this and I'm selfish.
What I'm saying is that if you knew that any monies that you or time that you donated towards a cause that went directly to that cause, I think that you would be more
Still
apt
would
to
do it.
Oh, okay, so that's different.
We could
I
find
would.
that. Well, you could find. I'm gonna help you find that then.
Yeah.
And I want to see next year how much of your income you actually donate over there.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee that you can find places that'll guarantee the money is going where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, that's tough. Ooh. That's tough. I'm a skeptic when it comes to stuff.
Well, I know. Well, being a skeptic is like protection from actually doing it because we can always lean on. I just don't trust it.
No, it's like it's real. Like I really don't trust it.
Sure.
It's
because it's impossible to overcome. Nobody can take away your ability to say you're skeptical.
Right.
But whoa, get out of here, fly! I'm skeptical of you. It's just always easy. Like I could say that about anything.
It's like I don't give $20 to some starving kids over in Africa so they can eat. But if there's a guy on the street, I'll gladly give him $20 because I'm seeing the direct impact of the result. if I could see that in other instances without going through all the bureaucracy and all that bullshit, then it would probably be different. Like, for instance, I actually have one at my home. I have boxes of clothes that I send to my poor family in the Philippines. Do I do that for poorer people in the world?
No. The point is, bro, I think we're saying the same things. We do it sometimes when we feel like it, when it's either convenient or it's nice, or we get the gratification knowing that it's working. But it's a weird thing because it's like, again, I keep going back to the terribleness of what's actually happening and how easy it is to ignore.
Yeah.
You know? And I think the line that hit me there is like, what if it was your kid? What if it was your daughter? You know, because that changes everything. Now, everything is different. Everything is different.
I don't think people ignore it because of selfish reasons. I think they ignore it because they feel like their effort is...
No, that's not. Because again, bro.
That's my opinion.
But that's right now, there are kids missing and tied up in...
Yes.
Right.
Everybody knows that.
Right. You're ignoring it, right? For whatever reasons they are, and I'm not judging you for them. But the cold, hard reality, if that was your kid that you knew was tied up, you wouldn't be doing this podcast right now. We wouldn't be bullshitting.
My kid, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So it's not that like people know there's no impact. Is that we don't care enough, because you don't care enough, and I don't care enough about strangers' kids that I do as my own kids.
But you would care enough if you knew that your efforts and time and
no, probably not, bro. It's
I would.
But how though?
What do you mean?
What's the difference between your kid and somebody else's kid?
What? What kind of question is that?
It's a very simple question.
Different.
Exactly. That's what it is. You care. You care about.
Were you banging
kid.
on people's doors when you thought that your son was missing?
Of course,
because it was somebody else's kid.
But again, you're acting like I'm not being honest with you. Yes, of course I was, because I care. That's my kid, and every ounce of energy.
Would you do that
for
somebody else's?
No.
Kid? Okay. So then why are you asking me what's the difference?
Because I'm just acknowledging the truth. You know what I mean? I want to make sure we're on the same page. It doesn't seem like we are. You're saying what's stopping you from doing it is like logistical belief in a system.
Yes.
But it's not. It's your emotional connection to what's going on. No. It is, bro, because the system doesn't fucking change if it's your kid that's missing. The system is the same. You know, donations still go through the same channels. Like, there's not like, oh, it's a Larry's kid, we're giving the money right to her. It's just now you give a shit because you love the kid.
I think it's when it's his kid, he doesn't care that the system doesn't work because all he wants is his kid back.
All you give a shit about is your kid. That's why, because of the emotional connection there.
So,
and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm telling you, I'm in the same way. But I'm just trying to help you. I'm trying to help you see that all the other shit is bullshit. It's not because of logistical or anything. It's because you don't care about them as much as you care about your daughter. And I don't care about them as much.
Okay, you can say that too. Yeah,
of course, bro. Yeah. That's the only reason, because that's why it's always like if it was our kid.
But when you're comparing
nothing else matters.
But both things can be true. So he can say that he doesn't want to do it because of the logistical things not working, and that's why he won't do it. If it's his own kid, now the emotion takes over, and his rational logistic thing doesn't matter.
Certainly cannot.
I would not go about it the same way.
What he's saying is, if the logistical thing wasn't in his opinion, the system's broken. That's your opinion. What he expressed.
We can say that the system is broken.
Right, but I'm saying that's what he expressed. So what I'm saying is, what he is saying is, if the system wasn't broken and he knew his effort would go directly to what needed to be helped, he would be more willing to prioritize that and put his time there.
Of course.
That's what he's saying. You're saying if it was his kid, he wouldn't give a shit that the system is broken, and he would still put his effort in to get his kid back, and he's agreeing. So what you guys are saying the same thing. If the system is broken, your emotion takes over. You only care when it's your kid. When the system's not broken and you know that your efforts are going to be towards what you want, you would be more willing to do so.
Give her the Sherry line, please, for me. It's like a lot of words, and I respect your attempt at like trying to make it diplomatic there. But this,
I think she hit the nail on that.
No, it's true.
No. So there's not always kind of you don't have to tiptoe that line there of like you're a little bit right and you're a little bit right here.
Because I'm not. That's my opinion. What you're both saying
that's fine. Your opinion
right.
is fine. We respect your opinion on this show. Respect. But the second part of that argument of like, oh, if the logistics were better, that argument fails once you acknowledge that there's a difference between your kid and another kid. Obviously. Because by saying that, you're acknowledging that the logistics aren't stopping you from doing everything you can. It's the emotional connection to the kid that's stopping you from doing everything.
But you wouldn't use the same channels if it was your kid.
But because I'm acknowledging that my kid is more important to me than all these other kids.
Of course.
Right. So that's what I'm saying.
I think I'm missing your point.
But the system being broken is not stopping someone. It's just making you not want to do it because you feel like your effort's not going to go to the same place.
So it's not stopping. It's just making you not do it.
No, it's not stopping.
definition
You're
of
just not
stopping?
prioritizing it.
Right, because
you can still do it. You just don't want to.
It all boils down to because you don't care enough. Because when it's your kid, you care enough to put everything else to the side and get it done.
Right.
Right. That's all I'm saying.
But if someone
There's
says
no but after that.
No, but if
Like-
someone says to you, if the system was better, I would care more about it.
Cool.
Right.
God bless you.
That's it.
I think that's bullshit.
Okay. And that's your opinion.
It is my opinion, but you know what's a fact? If it was your kid, you would figure out
You wouldn't give a
and do
fuck
it
if
anyway.
the system's
Exactly.
bullshit because it's my kid.
What's the only difference between your kid and somebody else's kid?
It's mine.
You care more about them.
Yeah.
That's it. All right. So that's really the only argument. Everything else is just by the wayside.
But no one disagreed with you on that argument. We agree.
But you're trying to have like a secondary argument that's like, oh, but if this, like that part doesn't even matter.
Well, I just think it's a different topic.
Yeah, it's
not
like
a
a different. It is. It really
It's not
is.
really. I just wanted you to acknowledge that it's like fucking. The bottom line is
Like the reason why I don't
the reason
put
we don't
effort
do
and
it is
time-
because we don't care enough. That's
No,
it.
no. I
Yes,
don't believe.
bro.
I don't agree with that.
You don't have to. You already said it. You don't have to agree
No, wait,
with
hold
it.
on.
You can try to tailor
the
your
reason
words
why
for this, but
I don't
you
go
already
out
said it.
fighting for saving kids and stuff like that is because I believe
You don't
that
care enough.
No, one, I don't think that I could do it.
Okay.
Even if it was my daughter,
So you would just ignore it. Say, fuck, I can't save her then. It's done.
even if it was my daughter,
I can
would
accept
still
that
acknowledge
argument.
the fact that, you know what, there's only so much that I could do. Just because I want to doesn't mean I can.
And you would stop?
I don't know.
Okay.
There might be
See,
a point. There might be a
now
point.
there's some honesty. This is some shit I could acknowledge,
But
you know, and accept.
That's exactly what we're saying. We were saying.
No,
from the
because 2
get-go.
minutes ago it was just like, well, that's different. That's my daughter. And I was just trying to explain, like, yes, it is different because it's your daughter. I accept that. But the reason it's different is because, one, you care more than anything about. The other two, it's like, okay, I care, but I don't really care.
I don't know. I think that the topic kind of like veered into whether you care more about your family than you do somebody else, and I think that's obvious. That's
Well,
understood.
It is obvious, but that's the whole premise of everything that we're talking about. That's why it's easy to ignore because it doesn't fucking hit us at home.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't think
Right.
that people. I think even other people's kids still hit home
to them.
Yeah, no, to everybody. That's why people
Not
go
really.
to watch this movie. You
Well,
know
that's
what I'm
why
saying?
we've never talked about this ever, bro. Like, if your kid was missing for the last 2 weeks, that's all we would be talking
You said
about
it
and
yourself.
focusing
Though.
on.
You said that this movie. This is why we're talking about this
Right.
movie. Kind of hits home. It kind of like,
Yeah,
even
but
though it's not your kids.
It kind of hits home because it's not my kids. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm still doing right now? I'm still drinking with my people. I'm still gonna go out and play a little bit of poker later.
Right,
Like,
but-
you know what I'm not doing, bro? I'm not getting on a train to DC trying to find sex traffickers.
But here's
but
what
if
you
it was
are
my
doing.
kid, I would be.
What you are doing is advertising the movie.
Yeah,
which
I'm
is,
not saying. Listen,
Would you be
everything
getting
is
on
more
a
than
train to
nothing.
find sex traffickers, though, or would you be just looking for your kid?
The semantics are like irrelevant to like exactly what I'd be doing is not as relevant as every energy that I have, every resource would be going into getting my kid. Whether it's time, money, energy, space, vehicles,
But
everything
because
would
it's
be
your
going
kid,
into
not because of sex trafficking.
Correct. Because it's my sex trafficking is not really a relevant.
But I'm saying whatever it was,
Whatever it is,
murderers,
it's
and
hunger, my
kidnappers,
kids,
whatever,
whatever
it
it
doesn't
is, you know what
matter.
I mean? The
Whatever
only
happened
point
to
is-
your kid, your effort would be going to get your kid, not to combat that thing.
Correct. It would be going to get my kid back to save my kid from whatever that thing is.
Right.
My point was that if the system was more efficient and more impactful, for I would be more apt to care more about. It has nothing to do with my daughter.
Yeah,
I would care
that's
more about other people's kids. I would definitely be doing more.
I don't think I would care more about other people's kids than I do. I think that
Okay, yeah, I might be using.
I would
You're
feel
right.
like
I know
would feel
where
like
you're
I feel like
Yeah,
my
I think
I don't think if
what
the
you
system,
said is what you meant, and what you
Right.
said is what you said. So.
But I don't think if the system was better, that would change the level of care I had for other people's kids. I think
Right.
if the system was
Okay.
better,
No, I agree with you there,
My
actually.
time would mean more. Like my time on that thing would mean more.
Your
So
efforts.
therefore, I would
Mm.
like I value my time.
Yeah.
So if I'm putting efforts into something that I don't really think I'm making a difference in, I'm not going to waste my time doing that.
Right.
So if I felt like my
unless
efforts
you
were doing-
cared about that kid enough because it was yours.
well, that's different. Yeah,
Right,
because
okay, cool.
I care about my kid. But my efforts going
So
towards
as long
my
as we care, though, but see,
Right.
it
But
sounds
my
like it's an
efforts-
obvious thing, but the reality is,
It is
there
obvious.
is a line. There is a line from we care enough, we care enough, we care enough, we care enough to I don't care enough. There is a line there.
Of course.
You know, it can seem dramatic by saying, well, of course it's your kid, but it would be the same as if it was my niece or my nephew. And then maybe a second cousin would be like, they're going to get a lot of effort. Probably not the same, though. Oh, a friend's kid, I'm going to do as much as I can, but that's going to go away. And eventually it's going to come into, I'm just going to talk about it on my podcast, not really do anything.
Well, that's actually doing something.
It's a spectrum, you know?
I care that people are homeless. I'm not going to go build a bunch of houses. I
Yeah,
care
I mean,
more about the fact
what
that
is-
I have a.
what is that statement?
But but I'm saying I care more about the fact that I'm not homeless.
Of
That
course you
I
would.
work
Like,
to put a roof under my
If you were
head.
homeless, you would figure out a way to get into, like, all your energy would be like, I got to get myself into a house.
Right.
Because you care
Or
more
my
about yourself
family or
than
my
anybody
kids.
else.
Right.
And again, listen, I'm down. I'm with everybody. I'm on the same page because I am equally as selfish. I just really needed to say what it is.
Do you feel like you got something off your chest?
I feel like, yeah, to myself, that I do.
You needed that.
I needed that. I needed that bad. I needed to know that I'm not alone in caring about my kids more than the other kids.
Of course.
And I needed you guys to hear it.
That's good.
It's
I
kinda
feel
like-
that kind of way even driving through Providence. You see homeless people on the median, the tents, or under the bridges.
Yeah, that's
all
fun, though.
It's like, what?
It's fun, though. You just ride around with a paintball gun.
This guy.
I'm
like,
kidding. I don't. I give these motherfuckers money.
I feel bad for them. Like, man, how do you help these people? Where do you even start?
Give them money.
You know,
Currently,
I mean, that's like,
currently we're working on that.
it's like, yeah, I guess give them
My,
money. That's like a temporary fix. How
Raise
do you really
taxes.
put them into a position of success? Or
Well,
maybe you
what's-
can't.
Let me ask you this. What's more important, helping them or helping society?
That is society.
He's going to give you a trolley problem.
What does that mean?
So a trolley
Oh, yeah,
problem
I
in
know what a trolley
psychology,
problem- yeah, no, I get
they
it.
they
Who
put
do you say? You're
like
fucking
one
this
what-
person or all the people?
Well, they say one person or 1,000 people, and then they do kind of what Josh did and say, well, now the one person's your daughter, and 1,000 people, then who do you save? And they keep doing it with different people and see if you
Right.
pull the lever or not.
It's fucked up to think about.
To me, it's easy to think about. I would let 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 people die before I let one of my kids die.
Of course. That's
Now, what
to
if
me,
what if you didn't know anybody and it was one person versus 1,000?
What do you mean?
Like, so the train is on the track to hit the 1,000 people,
Yeah.
and it's going that way.
Yeah.
You have a lever to pull it to make it hit one random person.
Random?
You don't know them.
Is it possible that it's my family?
No.
They're gone. Saving 1,000 people.
Right.
Bye-bye.
So that's the trolley problem, is that like you would pull the lever, so you're changing fate, right? Like you're pulling lever and
Cool, change fate.
making the train kill someone, and
All
then
you're-
it's like,
all you're
but then
asking
you
somebody to
wouldn't
do-
do that if
Yeah,
it was
but all
somebody
you're
you knew.
asking somebody to do with that problem is, do you value somebody you love more than somebody else? And the answer to me is always going to be yes there. I'm sorry, you know what I mean? But I'm just not feeling the impact of random people dying, you know? But it's weird. You know, it might sound weird, but just being honest.
It's a psychological exercise to look at
I honestly
the
think
murder. Like you're
I think that
choosing to
anybody-
murder someone rather than it would just murder 1,000 people because it was going by itself. Like that's the exercise. I'm not saying I
Right.
would do the same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
I would do the same thing, but it's like the whole.
To me, I feel like
hero
there's
thing
actually a
versus-
right and wrong answer to these questions. And I'm giving the right ones.
I also gave the same answers you give, but
Never
that's the
mind.
whole.
Never mind, I take it back.
I'd like to know
That's the
who
whole
would,
idea.
who would give the other answer.
They're lying.
Say,
That's
hey,
what
you know,
gives
I'm
it
just going to
liars.
let.
What's the whole idea of like
1,000
the
people
benefit
die.
of the whole, versus
Right.
like, are you a hero when you pulled the lever to murder that one person?
Fuck yeah.
Like that's the whole.
Ask the other
idea.
1,000 people how they feel about me.
Right.
That they think I'm a hero.
Right, exactly.
I'm getting 1,000 Christmas cards every year or one Christmas card every year. Fuck that. Hey.
What is this? This homework?
No, we're rolling into some. Here's a trolley question for you on paper.
What is this?
Now we want to take a second to thank our sponsors, and it's the last episode for these motherfuckers. So pay up. Let's renew, man. Cam, I know you're getting a lot of haircuts from me. What?
Good.
All right. Anyways,
just
so
ad-libbing.
yeah, we're just gonna take a second to thank our people. This is how we pay the bills. Well, we paid like a couple of bills once, but anyways, shout out to Cambio's Cuts. He's my barber. I mean, it's been a few days, but I'll show you guys the crispiness.
Ooh.
Always, baby, always.
Crispy.
You know, he's located at, excuse me for the burp, 190 Putnam Pike in Johnston, Rhode Island, 02919. I mean, fuck, man, it's a barbershop. There's not a lot to say except he's been the guy cutting my hair for the last 10, 11 years. He's the only dude I let cut my kids' hair. He's on point, man, every time. It's always a crispy cut. Not even just him, but his whole staff is in there. You know, like there's just kind of a level of professionalism that he expects, and that's why I'll always go to him, man. If he franchised, and if I was in another town and this was like, hey, Cambio's Cuts Dallas, I would go there before any barbershop because I expect they're going to have the same standards he has. And it's cool, like it's not just like a hood barbershop where all you can get is a fade or a lineup. You can go in there, get scissor work, you can get fucking hairstyle, you can do just anything, man, from Temps to, we were watching that video, Temp from here all the way down to your temple, your beard, your mustache. This is how I know I'm getting old, because now when he cuts my hair, he's hitting my fucking ears, like on the side where hairs growing out. God damn, bro, when did that start happening? You know, hit the nose, inside, just whatever, man.
You a little fade up there?
Yeah, a little fade, nostril fade. You want the brows? Not yet, baby. You don't take them down all the time. But anyways, man, Cambio's Cuts, they got an easy online booking system that makes scheduling quick. Just go to cambioscuts.com. You can book your shit, pay right there. Easy game, whether you're a new client or a regular. Cambio's Cuts Barbershop will make sure your experience is good money every time. 401-580-6651.
Nice. Don't do that. Hey, listen, if you're tired of dealing with the hassle and uncertainty of finding a reliable mechanic, then you're going to love Division Street Auto Sales and Service. They're a local family-owned business, George, my man, in Pawtucket, with a reputation for honesty, trustworthiness that spans over a decade. No matter what type of vehicle you drive, they've got you covered, from cars to trucks to SUVs. They're expert technicians. Like George and his father, have the knowledge and experience to tackle any job. And unlike some shops that will try to upsell you on unnecessary services, this is where trust comes in. And that's like the biggest thing when you're talking about mechanics and taking your vehicle somewhere. You don't want to be upsold or, dealing with somebody that's just trying to make a pretty penny off of you. They'll give you an honest assessment of what your vehicle needs and what can wait. I've been taking my car to George at Division Street Auto for over 10 years, maybe 10 years. Somewhere around there. What's more, Division Street stands behind their work. If you have any other issues after a repair, they'll always make it right. So even if, let's say, something happens later on down the line, if it's directly related to what they just fixed, it's never a problem to take it back and they'll fix it. Personally, again, 10 years, I wouldn't trust anyone else. Their friendly staff always makes me feel welcome. George always makes us a priority, and they go above and beyond to make sure my car is running smoothly. So if you're in need of auto service or a new ride, don't hesitate to give them a call at 401-723-7080 or stop by 595 Division Street in Pawtucket. You won't regret it. You can even go in there and say hi to George and his familia.
Tell him
Division Street Auto. Ass pounding back door action.
Tell him we sent you. You know George, right?
We also got work done on Carissa's car. George's.
Yes.
Ooh,
see that?
George worked on you and Carissa, is what you're saying.
Just Carissa's car.
Yeah.
What's up? Any good comments? We got any Facebook comments? Anybody interacting?
There's one and done from Connor.
One and done from Connor. Nobody gives a fuck about. Did you refresh, bro? What's going on here, man?
Yeah.
The good old days, bro. That chat would be live as fuck. Summertime, everybody's out though. Nobody's chilling at home on Sunday watching our shit, bro.
It's all right.
It's all right, man. We got dozens and dozens of viewers.
You gotta start somewhere. It's not easy to appeal to the masses.
This might bug you a little bit, but I love Twitter so much, man. I feel like intellectually and like comically, Twitter is by far the most superior fucking social media platform when it comes to just quick, clever comedy. And a big thing on Twitter right now, right? And it could be because of my algorithm, is like people shitting on the WNBA. Do you follow that? You must see it, right? I know you like basketball. Are you on Twitter or no?
I am on Twitter.
Right. So it'll be like a highlight, and somebody will type just like, "Oh, the crowd goes mild." It's fucking,
it's fucked up.
Dude, it's so fucked up, right? Because it's always some schmuck like me that is like obviously not an athlete that's trying to shit on, like, at the end of the day, even if the WNBA isn't the NBA, it's still the best women in the world, like still the best women basketball players in the fucking world. So when I see like a highlight and the crowd is cheering and somebody comments like, "Oh, dozens and dozens of fans in attendance," it cracks me up.
Do you take offense to that?
No.
No? Being a female?
No.
Understanding that the WNBA is, I don't know, are they successful? Are they?
So in high school, I did a project.
Yeah.
About what your dream job would be, and I said WNBA player. So I had to do like all research on what it means.
Yeah.
And the NBA has to bail out the WNBA every year. And
financially, you mean?
Financially, yes, because people don't go watch it.
I take my daughter to go to WNBA games.
Good.
Yeah, to watch the Connecticut Sun. It's pretty interesting. I want her to see, like team dynamics and
I've told Josh this before, but so when I did this project, this was back in not too long ago, I'm not that old, but 2011, 2012.
Sure.
Well, because then you guys make fun of me. I
Bitch
said
about
back
to be
in.
30.
I am about to be 30. My last year in my 20s. So the last man on an NBA bench who got like no playing time, pure practice player.
Yeah.
Want to guess how much he made at that time?
Go ahead. I don't know.
650 grand.
No, about 300K a year.
Not bad.
300 and change, right? Do you want to take a guess on what the last female on the WNBA bench made?
40.
$11,000 and change.
But she didn't even really play, huh?
No, but he didn't play either.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, I'm just showing you the comparison of like both people.
Do you think
don't
that
play.
comparison, like, do you think it shouldn't be like that though? Do you think women should get paid the same amount?
I have complicated opinions about it.
No, you
It's not
don't.
that I can answer.
Because you're
It's not that I can
answer it.
No,
forget
it's not
about
that
who
I
you're
don't
going to
wanna-
offend. Because you're a smart girl. You know that the obvious answer is no.
The issue is the person who in the NBA who's a star player. The NBA makes way more money than the WNBA.
Right.
So you would expect that that person would make money based on who they drew in.
Right.
So I would expect that the male players who are drawing in fans would make more than female players.
The bottom
Even
line
though people
is,
don't
like,
like
listen,
it, it's true.
Here's the thing: is like Ed Sheeran makes a lot of money doing what he does because he's a musician and he's successful.
Yeah.
Like I like to sing and play the guitar. I don't have any right to say I should make as much money as he does.
No.
You know, because he just does it at a higher level.
Right.
That's always how I'll feel about like sports or women's sports or in any profession. Like if you can do it at a higher level, then you'll make more money. You bring in more money, you're gonna make more money. And until there's a woman that can play in the NBA and fucking dominate, how can you ever warrant, you know, or if people just start watching NBA more than NBA and it's worth more, you know what I mean?
Right.
Right. Because that's really all it comes down to, bro, is how many asses you putting in the seats.
I think in sports that's especially true. I think that the pay thing, like when you say if you do something better, you're gonna make more money. That's not always the case in
It's
such
definitely
public.
easier to apply to like entertainment.
Right.
You know,
like when you
you-
do like we'll call it like just like normal jobs, like desk 9-to-5 jobs. That's not always the case where the man who makes more money is outperforming the woman.
But I don't think there's a pay gap with those jobs
Is there any-
specifically.
It's tough to say that without data.
There. If you look at the data,
No, I'm saying it from looking at the data.
I
don't
looked
think
at
that
the
there's-
data
Can
and
you
there
have,
is. So.
have them each pull up whatever data they're looking at? Or what data you use? Just want to see it. He's like, I've asked people.
No. I mean, these are conversations that I've had over fucking 15 years. Like,
you got that Trump data. You know it.
All right,
I know it.
get the
Everybody
data.
knows
I
it.
think everyone in their spare time should go look at statistics.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't have data off the top of my head, but I'm also not going to quote like this
Yeah, I don't
person,
have
that
data off the
person. I'm
top of
saying,
my
but
head
I'm,
either.
but
So
I'm
both
saying
of you just feel like there's not a pay gap, and you feel like there is.
It's not a feeling. I know for a fact.
You agree with him?
well, no, it's not. He's wrong.
No.
This is what I love about opinions, because too many people like to hide under like, well, let's just agree to disagree. Like, nah, motherfucker, somebody's wrong here.
Well, yeah.
You know, like
Yeah,
opinions
yeah.
aren't always just like immunity from being wrong.
Right, and here's the issue is that when you form your opinions based on word of mouth, what you don't see is statistically like so. There's always going to be a situation where you can say, well, this man and this woman make the same amount of money.
Right.
Well, yes, of course.
But there's always gonna be the opposite.
There's always
Right.
going to be the opposite. So what you have to look at is statistically across everybody in an industry
It would
or
have to be
everybody's
a,
thing.
No,
You
it
have
it'd have to be a specific
Right, but
industry.
I'm saying you have to look
You
at-
can't just take like the wage
Of
overall.
course, of
right?
course. So there's also like studies that support the fact that men are more likely to apply for a job that they are not qualified for. There are studies that show that psychologically people are more likely to hire men for certain job types than women.
Of course.
But I'm saying like even like jobs that women can very easily do, like not like labor construction,
like,
like,
no,
like
like
being a
sandwich
boss.
making, nursing,
no,
can-
being
can
a
we use
boss.
cleaning
That's what I'm
houses?
saying, like
Can we
an
use some like
executive.
simple logic here? If what you're saying, and this is not an attack on you, if what you're
I
saying,
don't take anything.
Okay, good, perfect.
Unless you like get in my face.
Right, no. If what you're saying is even remotely true, that there is a pay gap between, let's say, desk jobs and then businesses, why don't they just hire all women?
What do you mean? Why don't they?
Because if
hire
I'm a
all-
business owner
Yeah.
and you're saying that I can get away with paying a woman less for doing the same job, why would I ever hire a man if I could save money by hiring a broad?
Well, first of all,
Is that
there's
what you were
now-
asking?
Yeah, no,
I'm just moderating. I'm
that's
just
like-
moderating.
Well,
just trying
first
to
of all,
use
now
simple
there's
logic.
like
Let
now
her go.
there are like laws, like equal opportunity laws like that, and like people could, if they could prove that you don't have one woman or one minority or one anything working for you, someone could say, "Hey, I applied for this job. I have the same resume as this girl, and they haven't hired one girl." There are some restaurants who kind of do that.
Yo,
like,
Mary Lou's. You ever go to Mary Lou's? There's no dudes that work there.
There
It's
actually
nothing but
is.
chicks.
There's my ex used to work in
That
Mary
had
Lou's,
to
and
happen
there's a
pretty
man.
recently.
No, it was when I was high school.
I'll tell you, I've been about 7 Mary Lou's, bro, and it's always the same creepy ass commercial on the screen and a bunch
Well,
of
they
fucking teeny
advertise
bopper
girls, but they will
working.
hire a man if they apply. But also, like, they don't market for men to apply. Like, what man's like, oh, I want to go wear pink and work at Mary Lou's? Like, probably not as many as people who want to work at the Shell right across the way, because they're not advertising to that. It doesn't mean that no man works there.
Interesting.
So it's just like, when you look at things like this, it has
So-
to be like statistically over everything. What is
Statistics
more
are
like?
crazy though, because you can always find statistics that are skewed to argue your point.
Oh yeah, you can skew anything.
Like right now, Jay could easily be like, "Hey, let's just look up. Let's see if there are any laws that allow men to be paid more than women to do the same job." Because there are definitely laws against it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like then
Corruption,
it's impossible for you to be right.
No, there's no
I'm
law.
just- listen, I
there's
know,
no
I'm
there's
just
no
being-
law that says a man can't be paid more than a woman. There's no law that says a woman. There's
No,
no
but there are
law
laws that
either
definitely
way.
there are definitely laws that protect women from being discriminated against in the workplace because they're women.
Correct.
I'm just saying, like playing devil's
Right,
advocate.
of
like,
course there is.
Statistics aren't always the best answer.
Let's not use statistics. That's why I presented the. Let's just use simple
Let's
logic.
use the J because
If-
I said so.
No. I mean, again, if that were again remotely true, that men are paid more than women, then business owners would never hire men. They just wouldn't do it.
That's not true.
I'm saying for those jobs, for those desk jobs,
But
whatever.
if they have a bias, I'm not saying they always do. 'Cause I'm not saying any man who gets a job has a bias. But I'm saying, using your argument,
Yeah.
only for your argument's sake, if someone had a bias towards men, and they felt like men should be in leadership positions and women are too emotional for it, and I need a man to run this to run well, so I don't have to be here running it when I'm the rich guy and I want my business to run smoothly.
Well,
They're gonna hire men at their leadership.
Why do you
roles.
think that is?
Do you know that most leadership positions are filled by men because that's a certain set of skills that men have? I'm not saying that there are no female leaderships or leaders out there.
You're saying
I'm
that
just
men
saying-
are just naturally predisposed to
I'm
having
saying
those
in certain
characteristics.
jobs, yeah, in certain jobs, in certain.
I think
think of
that's
just
I
leadership
think there
in
are
itself.
some jobs like that, but I think leadership, that is a
Well, just
societal
think
bias
of
that
leadership
exists.
in
It's not
itself.
necessarily true.
Forget about the job at all.
Right.
Just leadership in general.
Yep.
Right.
Who do you think there's a man or woman? Do you think there's a sex that is naturally better at leadership?
No.
No. What about you?
Let's look at historical data.
Yes, I'm asking what you think. Forget the
I'm about
historical
to tell
data.
you. If we
Do
look
you
at
think one? Yeah,
historical
but I'm
data-
asking
Can
simple
I just
yes or no,
finish
bro.
what I'm saying?
Well, you're deflecting the question,
I didn't.
bro.
Let me
I
finish
see how I
talking.
asked her. She gave me
Can
a
I-
simple
you
yes
asked
or
me
no.
a question.
Right, but you're not
I
trying
know,
to answer.
but
You're
this
trying
ain't
to
this ain't
deflect
a
it, bro.
courtroom guy. You're not the
Nah,
judge.
bro, like, why are you trying? You're just
You
weird, man. It's weird.
You're
bro.
making this weird. You're asking a question. I'm trying to
You're
answer,
weird.
and
You're
like,
not trying to answer. You're trying to use some.
And rather than let me
anecdotal,
answer, you're
historical,
like
blah,
you
blah,
want to
blah,
like
blah,
debate
blah
about
shit.
it.
I don't want to debate. You
I
just
even
do
forgot
this
the
is like
question.
a Jayism.
Nah, I just
you
forgot the
forgot it because you
question,
didn't answer it, bitch.
I
If you
know.
would have answered it, it would have been fine.
I was trying
Let me
to
ask
answer.
you,
You kept interrupting
Brandon,
me.
Let's try this with a grown up. Do you think when it comes to sex, men or women, that one is better than the other at leadership?
Man.
Cool. Thank you for answering that like a man.
Stop it.
Well, let's look at Achilles.
Well, hold on. Let's
think back to Gestapo.
This is obviously a complex issue to say men. Like, well, that doesn't
Well,
tell
no,
us
he's asking
anything.
your first opinion, and then you can
Okay,
explain
hey,
it
great.
after.
Let's move on to the next topic. Men.
You can explain it. No, but you can
there's
explain
three
it
answers.
after.
You either
Yes,
say,
I was trying to get
I
there.
think men or women or no. Those are the only three answers.
Right. And I was actually answering it the other way around. I was
Yeah, no
explaining,
shit,
and then
bro.
I was going to say, men, and depending on.
Okay, thanks. Let's
depending
move
on
Let's move
the job.
Nobody wants your explanation. They just wanted your answer. So now I can title it, Jay thinks men are better than women.
No, I don't at all.
But we got the clip already. You just said men.
I don't think.
Gotcha.
I think in certain jobs, men are obviously
Isn't it crazy?
predisposed to be
Because like
better.
in a courtroom, that is what they'll try to do. Just trap you.
Yeah, they just try to pin you down to yes or no, and then paint you with a brush. And I don't want to be.
But I don't
want to
do that. You have your chance to explain, but it's good to know where we all stand and then explain.
I think it's obvious that
You know why? There's a reason I wanted your answer first.
But we didn't ask what that
It's
reason
in,
is.
and it's in this book that I'm reading, right? Because if you
So here he goes explaining. but
well,
he
if
doesn't
everybody
let
hears your
anybody else explain.
explanation, if everyone hears your explanation, you can
Yeah.
influence their opinion, and then it's going to sway their opinion.
That's
and
the whole
we're not
point of
gonna hear their
conversation,
opinion.
my friend.
Yeah, but you want the opinion first. Because what's the point of knowing your opinion if you don't know if your opinion can be changed?
Now we're going off the subject.
Maybe if you can't keep up, that's a you
There's
problem, not a me
certain
problem.
there are certain jobs that I believe. Obviously, men are hired for more dangerous positions in a world, in a life. That's where I think where pay gaps come into play.
Higher paying jobs.
Yeah. I
but
don't
we,
think that
we deaded that argument though by saying it was based on the industry. Like she was
Right.
talking about, you'd have to go specific to the industry.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
All right. Now that we settled that one.
So you say no. You don't think either one. Jay and Brandon also say men. Interesting that both men say men, but the women you didn't say women.
No.
You said neither.
Exactly.
Is that because you're deep down you know it's men, but you got to kind of toe the line?
No, I think that
You think it's just 50-50, luck of the draw?
no, I don't think so. What I think is that it all depends on what your definition of leadership is, right? So I think that leadership is like this thing that some people, like, for example, Jay was in the military. So his definition of leadership might be like command, up, this, that, like there's what you envision when you envision leadership. I went for my master's and one of my majors in my MBA was leadership management. So like I learned
Did you get your
more
money
in
back for
depth.
that or no?
No. I am more in depth of like
More in
what are
depth.
the different ways in which you can be a leader? What are different scenarios in which certain characteristics are leadership qualities versus others? And in certain characteristics, like some men don't have certain characteristics in certain situations to be the right type of leader for that staff
I agree
or
with
that
you there.
people. So the thing is, I don't think either, because I don't think you can look and across the board say men are better leaders, women are better leaders. I think you have to say what are the qualities that are needed for this specific leadership position. And then if you tell me, okay, well, who's a better leader of the military? I might say probably more statistically, men would be leaders majority of the time than women. But there are some women who rise in the ranks in the military who are the exception.
But the exceptions are so relevant. Fuck the exceptions.
Right, but there are other situations where there might be a type of leader
Give me an
needed where the
example where a
woman would
might
be
a better
better.
leader. Give me an example where a woman, like a group of people or a situation where a woman might make a better leader than a man.
More collaborative environments, more like teaching. Teaching is a leadership role. There's more women who are
If you
teachers.
had to narrow leadership down to like one word, right? Literally, if you just had to say, hey, this is what you need to be a good leader, what would it be? One word.
That's something I think about. I don't have
What about
one
you,
word.
Brandon? You're in a leadership role. I'm curious. What do you think?
Empathy.
Influence.
I think women are more empathetic than men,
Yeah.
statistically. So I think it's interesting that
Yeah,
someone whose
bitch.
answer was men. I think it's interesting that someone
You
whose
can give
answer.
opinions.
But I'm
Well,
saying,
no, Jay, it's the fact that I've had this conversation with you and you took what I said to you.
but I'm saying I think it's.
No, I
Stole my
didn't.
word.
I'm trying to make an actual point about
Go ahead,
it.
I'm
but
sorry.
I said I think it's something. It's interesting that someone who said they think is men are better leaders. His one quality of a great leader is empathy, and I think that all of us, when we think of like empathy, and we think of the sex that we would say their characteristic empathy, I think most people would say a woman.
I think most people don't know the difference between sympathy and empathy. Like, I think women are definitely more sympathetic than men. I don't know if I would say empathetic.
I think women are both more sympathetic and empathetic than men. Majority. I'm not saying there are
You
no
know why?
empathetic men.
I think women naturally respond more emotionally than logically and rationally. You know, I don't know. I might get crucified for saying that, but fuck it. And I think empathy doesn't come from a place of emotion. It comes from a place of logic,
Understanding.
you know, and understanding. But anyways, I would sum it up also with influence. I think the ability to influence people is really all you need to be a good leader.
Well, I wouldn't even agree with that statement.
You don't have to.
I believe that, the definition of leadership is influence. That's what it is. And then there's certain elements that make a good leader versus a bad leader. But just because of influence, that doesn't mean you're a great leader, I guess.
I guess we'd have to break down really the definition of influence at that point then.
Yeah.
Because if I'm telling you to, hey, clean this table because I'm your boss and I said so, and you do it, am I really influencing you or am I ordering you to?
Well, that's influence.
Or is it a type of influence? So yeah, maybe it's how you influence people. That's fine. That's why I said we'd have to really get down and nitty gritty that definition. Because if I said, hey, Jay, man, like we'd really get a better response on the podcast if this table was nice and clean, let's clean it. Now I'm influencing you, I think, as a better leader versus just directing you.
Yeah, I was going to say, to me, the most important quality of leaders is the communication, like how you communicate.
Mm-hmm. I went through a 2-month-long leadership school, and 90% of that was communication, understanding how communication works.
I don't think there's a sex, personally. I don't think there's a sex that communicates better than the other. I think that communication is something that all human beings need to work on.
I mean, you said two very different things there.
What do you mean?
All humans need to work on it, yeah, but that would be the case even if one was better than the other.
I don't think that any. I don't
Men
think any
communicate
sex.
better than women.
I don't think that's true.
Okay.
I communicate with a
Can
lot
I
of
ask,
men
why do
and
you
women.
think that?
Because I'm a man.
You're like, well, okay, yeah.
And I communicate with a woman all the time. So let me ask you, right? Because here's the reality. If you were to ask a man and a woman, right? And I'm going to try to paint a picture here, and I hope you'll answer honestly.
I will.
And if you were to say, hey, what's wrong to one man and one woman, and you got two answers without knowing who said the answers. And one of the answers was, nothing. I had a really tough day, and I'm just trying to decompress. And the other answer was, nothing. I'm fine. I don't want to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
How would you assign those responses to each sex? If that's the only information you had, and you had to choose.
Can I be 1,000% honest?
You can. I'll know if you're lying.
No, I've heard both from both sexes.
Yeah, but that's
true.
not the question though. You're just
But
what
it's
you're doing
100%
is
true. I've
all
said
I
both
said was
answers.
if you had to make a choice in that situation,
Yeah.
which one would you go with?
I honestly think both people would be most likely to say, I'm fine, nothing.
So you'd say, I'm not playing this. I'm not in this hypothetical situation. I'm out. Don't
well,
ask
if
me
you're
this.
asking
Don't
the
ask me
question, I would assume the woman said, I'm fine, nothing.
Okay, but there's a reason
because you're asking it, and I think that you're assuming that based on that's your
yeah,
communication
but who cares?
pattern.
Who cares what I'm assuming? I asked just what your honest opinion would
I'm
be.
telling you my honest
If
opinion.
you had to assign, yeah, and it's cool that you would say,
I wouldn't know.
expect a woman. No, you wouldn't. But if you had to make a choice, sometimes you have to make decisions without knowing the facts. You just have to assume.
Right.
You got to use the information that you have.
Right.
At the
So
end
the
of the
information I have is you're the one asking the question.
It's ambiguous.
No, but I'm saying like you're the one asking the question. So based on you, the point
But why
I know
does
you're trying
that
to
matter?
make.
But I don't want you to answer falsely I don't want you to intentionally lie because you're trying to help my point. I don't need that. I want you to answer like truthfully. Like if you had to choose and assign an answer, if you say the men would be the one to say, no, I'm fine, don't worry about it, then say that. I don't have an issue with that.
Well, I can tell you that I'm engaged, as you know. My fiance never says nothing. I'm
But
fine.
that's anecdotal though.
But I'm saying always explains.
Yeah, but that's anecdotal.
I've-
Like it's your personal.
I have guy friends who I talk to, and I'll be like, "Yo, what's up with you?"
So then
Nothing, I'm
why
fine.
didn't you easily just say, oh, it's probably the guy that would say, I'm fine, don't worry about it.
Because a woman could easily, just as easy as say that.
Okay.
That
So
would be
you-
me doing the opposite
So
of
you
what
would
you're
just
asking.
you would
me to
just
do.
say, no, I'm not asking you for a specific
I would
answer.
say I don't know.
Yeah, but see, you can't say that.
Why can't I say that?
Because it's just not fun. There's no point.
So, but what
what
I'm
the
saying
fuck's
is
the
you
point
don't
of
want
coming
me.
on a podcast?
But
And
here's
like, I
the
don't
thing.
know. I don't want to share my opinion. I don't know.
I am sharing my opinion. You just don't like it.
No, that's not an opinion. If you had to choose and then you say, I'm not
Right.
choosing,
So here's
just
but here's the thing
shoot
is
me.
you're saying you want me to assign based on what I know. What I'm telling you is based on the information you gave me. I don't know the two people. I know
Mm-hmm.
nothing about them. I would be guessing
Yeah.
based on nothing.
So
if
guess.
I said the man,
Okay,
you'd be
cool.
like, "Why are you saying the man?" I would literally say,
I wouldn't have
"Because
said
I
why.
don't know."
I would have just said, okay, cool
I
answer.
said the woman. I don't know.
I wouldn't believe you, but I'd say, cool answer.
Right. You wouldn't believe. That's what my point is.
Yeah.
You will only believe one answer. So the only way to answer your question properly is say the woman said no, I'm fine. The guy said no, I want to decompress.
Why do you need me to believe your answer? Just because I don't believe it doesn't make it not true or true.
Whichever. But I'm saying is my
I
true
didn't bring you
answer
on
with
to
neither
appease
one.
me, Brie.
But I'm saying
I
either
wanted your
one
opinions.
doesn't. That is my opinion. My opinion is
I think
that
it's
would be
stereotypes.
my
It's
opinion
like-
would be completely
Well,
arbitrary.
Stereotypes usually have an underlying like factor of truth. No?
I don't know. I never, you know, it's kind of like saying...
A lot of them do, yes.
Most of them.
Do Irish people drink a lot? I don't know. That's kind of...
I mean, you can find some stereotypes that might not, but there are a lot that
Are
do.
blondes dumber than brunettes?
Are black people in general more athletic than white people?
Well, I think that's actually scientific.
Right. It's a stereotype, though. There's some truth to it.
I think it's fact.
Cool. Thank you for agreeing with me.
I think it is. I think it is.
Yeah. What if you were posed with that same question? Would you take the same route? Like, I don't know, who to assign each answer to?
Oh, because of stereotypes and what? No, I'd obviously go with the stereotypical answer,
which is.
I'm not saying that. No, I'm just kidding.
You're such a pussy, bro.
If you had said to me,
I remember the old Jay. You used to just fucking give your opinion on the show, not worried about shit.
if you had said to me,
like I
if you
don't.
if you had said to me, one person said, "No, I'm fine. I just something happened with my truck," and "No, I'm fine," but
But
something. But I'm saying those are more stereotypical. If you said
no,
one person cried
not,
and one
that's not
person
true,
didn't,
though.
I would.
That's not true though, because the second I throw truck, it is way more likely that that's a man.
Right.
So I can't give that. I can't say.
Okay, or if you
I
said-
can't say one. I fucking broke my heel at work today. Like,
why is that more?
Right. But what I'm saying is, if you had a if you're two
statistics?
answers,
Look up truck owners, men or women.
if your
you can
two,
look this up on your own.
if your two answers were more in line with a stereotype, then I could give you a guess.
But I didn't want it to be in line with a stereotype. I want it to be as vague as possible, so I could get a true which way you would lean on who would
What
say
your train of thought is.
Right. So my train of thought in that situation isn't either.
And that's fine.
If you said one person cried and one person didn't, I would say the woman probably cried because men don't typically show emotions outwardly, in my experience.
And that's fine. Listen, I'm not going to pin you to only answering the way I wanted. All I try to do is pin people to answering one way or the other, whether you think we agree with you or don't agree with you or you might hurt feelings. I don't give a shit. I just really have a problem when people try to toe the line and play the safe card of like, I'm not going either way. I don't want to say something. But that's your right, you know?
Well, because some people don't want to sound ignorant, even though their answer.
There's a true
might be
answer
there.
in there, bro.
Yeah.
There's a true answer in there somewhere.
Right.
Maybe we'll get it on next.
For instance, if you ask me, hey, do you think black people can dance better than white people? I'm going to say yes.
I would say yes
ignorant?
to that too.
Does that sound, that's totally ignorant, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just.
The
it's
difference
ignorant
is
to
like
say.
the difference between not answering a question because you're scared or don't want to tell the truth, and answering a question because you're literally like, no matter which answer I give, I would just be making up an answer because I'm on a podcast. You want me to answer a question.
Right.
Like
No, I
if
see.
you ask me a question, can black people or white people dance better? I would say I think black people. So you can ask me a rapid fire these questions, and if I do have a stereotype or opinion, I will share it.
What's your ancestry?
My mom is Italian.
Hey.
My dad is African American, Native American, Cape Verdean.
African American and Native American. Not a combo I hear very often.
And Cape Verdean. It's African, right?
No, Cape Verdean is Cape Verde, which is off the coast of Portugal.
I thought it was off the coast of Africa.
It's in Portugal.
Wait a minute. Where the fuck is Cape? Can we look this up? Because I thought it was off Africa too.
It's
I think it's in Pawtucket.
Where the hell is Cape Verde?
It might be considered Africa. but
Watch
it's near
how close
Portugal,
it is
too.
to Africa.
People
compared
speak
to
Portuguese there.
It's like
some people.
it's in Jersey.
Creole.
Yeah, just click the map.
Shit, it's
Yeah,
over
see,
there.
Portugal's right there.
Oh yeah,
It's
that's
not
right.
far.
That's definitely right near Portugal.
No, I said it's Africa
Wait.
and Portugal.
I didn't even realize it was right there.
Off the coast of Portugal. It's a fucking short walk to Africa. There's a pier that connects it.
I thought it was a little more north.
Near
I
Morocco.
actually thought it was like south.
Remember that episode where Jay tried to convince us that Egypt wasn't in Africa?
There was never an episode that I tried to convince somebody that
It's like
Egypt wasn't
Egyptians are not Africans, so
No, I was saying that Egyptians, like black people, they're different from Arabs. That's what I was trying to get at. That was my point.
It was that was a crazy way to get to that point.
You guys were trying to make these like
Nah, it was the
weird-ass
way you worded it. You're
connections.
like, so you're saying Egyptians are Africans? I'm like, yeah. You're like, but they're not.
right. They're Africans by it's got,
Geography.
Nah, they're Africans because they're not the same people. Arabs and black Africans.
They're
are not the same
Africans
people.
because Egypt is in Africa.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, but they're only Africans based on geography.
It's like calling. It's
Oh,
like
my bad, bro.
It's like saying Shaquille O'Neal. He's Irish. O'Neal, that's Irish. He's Irish.
It's a little
Or,
different.
no, it's the same thing. If he
That's
was born,
very different,
If he
bro.
was born in Ireland, he's Irish. Like, no, he's not Irish. I mean, he's
Yes.
It's the conversation of ancestry versus nationality. Where you were born is your nationality. Where you come from, like your historical line, lineage,
It's more like
is
saying
ancestry.
if you were in Texas,
Yeah.
if you were born in Texas, you're American.
What?
That's exactly what
the
it's
fuck
like,
are you talking about?
right? If you were born in Texas, you're American.
Well, yeah, you are.
No, if you were born in Egypt, you're African.
Yeah, technically.
Yeah.
That's your nationality, but those aren't the same
Sure,
people.
sure.
What we were talking about, we were talking about who built the pyramids and stuff like that. There's a difference between Arabs,
also African though.
the Arab people,
Were they not?
and well, yeah, if you want to
It's
just
like if
generalize,
you're using geography, yeah.
no,
that's
if you
all I
want
would
to
use.
generalize and just use nationality, of course.
All right, let's wrap this up. This was fun, man. We spent about 20 minutes on it the first time. I think Brandon left. He was so tired of it. He's like, I'm out, man.
damn black
Hey, well,
arrows.
anyways, hey, listen, Bree, thank you for coming. This was fun. I hope you had fun. All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening. I appreciate y'all. Make sure, listen, by the time you hear this, the event's going to be over, so I'm not going to advertise it, but bye. We have the worst outros ever.